show. With Irish show. With Irish show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. I got to tell y'all. I just had a little Brian Kelly in me. I got to tell y'all, I don't know where the hell that came from with my heavy Chicago accent. Wow, I got a little Brian Kelly in me. I got to start this off by saying this. I'm in a lot better mood doing this show than I was on the morning show. I am thankful I am done wearing that red. Unbelievable. If anybody saw the morning show, I lost my Ohio State bet to the Ohio podcast, and the rule was whoever loses has to wear the other team's gear on a live stream. And they sent me a Woody Hayes hat autographed by the Ohio State version of Rudy that nobody's ever heard of except for them. And I had the red shirt and the whole thing. I got to tell you guys, it made me physically uncomfortable. I'm not kidding with you. You guys know how I am. I felt like an imposter in my own body. I felt like a traitor. I felt like a dirty lady of the night wearing that Ohio State stuff. I'm just glad to be done with it. I'm glad to be done with it. I had to do the right thing. The circumstances of the result don't matter. Notre Dame lost, and I had to pay it off. Not in a good mood this morning for it. Tried to use it for content. If I'm going to be uncomfortable and miserable, I'm at least going to use it, for some content run. And I got trolled by the Ohio State people. Like, that's what it's all about, you guys. Like, if you're going to do what I'm doing, you got to put yourself out there. So I wanted to be a good sport and do it. But I got to tell you, I was very uncomfortable. I mean this sincerely. I see some phone calls lining up and a couple donations. We're going to get right to you guys. I'm thinking back in my life, and you all know, yeah, Brian Kelly's caddy, John, was next level hostile this morning. The problem is, once I started, we got in from Ohio State into the Duke game, and then now we're going into this one. I started to kind of turn the page from Ohio State because I have new things to worry about right in front of us. All this did is make me relive all the Ohio State stuff, and that triggered me. And then the Ohio State people knew I was going to be wearing their colors, so then a bunch of them came in and trolled me this morning, and I yelled at some of them. I love it, though, man. That's what it's all about. Yeah, Texas Mac, thank you. Looking better tonight, John. I appreciate that. But I mean it when I tell you guys. I genuinely mean this. I don't ever remember a time in my life that I've worn a hat of any other college other than Notre Dame. Like, it would just never happen. Not as a kid, not growing up, not my cousin goes somewhere, I'm going to wear the hat. My cousin plays on the golf team at Wake Forest and is a big shot. I'm going to wear their gear. No. Like, I've never done it. And I mean that. It's a big deal to me to represent Notre Dame everywhere I go for my whole life. And it was physically uncomfortable. I looked at myself in the screen. I got to look right at my own dumb mug when I'm talking to you guys. It wasn't a pretty sight. I was upset. It was disgusting. So I'm glad to be done with it. And I'm in a lot better mood. Yeah, Nick, I don't know where Sean is, but I got something cooking for Sean. He's one of the Ohio State trolls this morning that came in here. it came in here, and I've never seen him before. I don't know, but he was running his mouth. I'm telling you what, man, I nailed that guy. And I got something coming for him too. He'll find out. I got something coming for him. I worked him over real good. You're not going to troll me. It ain't going to happen. Mark would be the one that noticed because Mark's the one who made the original. I did upgrade the chain, bro. The medallion's the same, but the chain got uprooted. I upgraded that rope, baby. Check it. The reality is, I have some old Halloween jewelry. I'm a big Halloween guy, so I have a lot of different stuff. And I realized I had some gold chains that are like fake gold chains, but heavy. And I had some of those in a box somewhere. And so I took one of these heavier, bigger chains and hooked it up. So Mark with glasses, I genuinely love this, the medallion, but it needed a little upgrade. And this chain's a little shorter, so the emblem shows and it doesn't drop below. So I did upgrade that. So thank you, Mark. And thanks for noticing. You should notice since you're the one who gifted me it to begin with. Let's get into the introduction real quick. I'm going to go over a couple notes and I'm going to give you guys some time. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Give the video a thumbs up. Notifications on that way. You will learn it every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishindy@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can locate it. The call-in lines. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen about Louisville. Oh, they are chirpy. They're birds, so I guess it makes sense. But we got to discuss it. I am slightly thrown off by what's coming out of Louisville. I mean, I understand fans of all teams want to be excited. You're playing Notre Dame. These guys are on a next level, bro. This Louisville, the chirping on social media, they are at another level. And I don't know if it's reality or if they're just excited that they're undefeated in Notre Dame's and they want to have a great home environment or what. But they are chirpy. Oh, I like that, Jaded. Louisville. I like that, Jaded. Oh, that's good. I'm kind of actually mad at you that I didn't think of that. That's very good. They are chirpy, and it is like they are way out there, bro. So they are on it. And so I don't know what to expect. I bookmarked a million tweets that if it doesn't go their way, I'm going to let them know. They're chirpy. So we'll get into it. Audio only anyway. Yeah, we did all that. Instagram, Facebook, Always Irish Inc. Those are growing. Those are newer. The Facebook and the Instagram, they're growing. Check them out. USA Today Fighting Irish Wire. Read all about it. We have our game previews. I put in my prediction, wrote a little paragraph about it. I'm not blowing it here. Go to USA Today Fighting Irish Wire. Read it, okay? We have articles every day. We have a great staff over there. Hard workers, man. You guys got to realize when you write for the paper and you have 4 night games in a row, you're going to bed at about 3 a.m. 4 weekends in a row. That's how it works. After the game, you do the college show. Then you do a regular video to post Sunday morning. Then you write an article, 2 for the paper. You get in bed about 3:30 in the morning. That's the way it goes. I wouldn't want it any other way. It's Notre Dame football, baby. Time don't matter to me. What are you going to do? Work's work. I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way. But when you have 4 night games in a row, it's a late night for anybody who does media. You got deadlines and things. You can't just take a nap, take a sleep, and get at it Sunday morning. It's too damn late. So I love that grind. I live for that grind. I love it. And we're going to have it again this week. So let me do a couple super chats. I'm going to go over my couple bullet point notes different from this morning. And then I'm going to give it to the callers and we'll see if people jump in. I may have some stuff I got to do later tonight. We'll see how it's going. So it may not be the longest show, but I got to be with my people. It just doesn't feel right if I'm not with you guys on a Friday night. Homer TD, $10 holler. Appreciate you very much. I believe you're on the phones and you'll be one of the people coming right up. I might actually go to the phones first, get into my notes. We'll see where these guys want to take it. $2 holler from Phil. Louisville, folks, take a look at Plummer versus ND 0-2. I understand that. Listen, I know they got some athletes. I know they have athletes. I respect Brom. He's got a knack for getting his guys up and pulling things off in his history. That's one thing I'm never going to discount. Certain coaches just seem to have a knack to be able to get their guys where they need to get them emotionally and mentally to do something a lot of people don't expect him to do. Brom's one of those people. Brian Kelly is the opposite of one of those people. Like, that's how it goes. Some guys just know how to push the buttons to get the most out of their guys in the moment. Brom is one of them. You can't teach that. You can't learn that. You don't go to a coach's clinic and they teach you how to press the right buttons to motivate your squad. No. That is something certain guys have a gift for and they're born with, and they just know how to do it. And it isn't manufactured. It's not fake. It's not phony. They know what buttons to press, and it's beautiful. Brom has that. I got to be honest. Marcus hasn't gotten over the hump on the huge upsets yet, but he's got the team ready to play for these games. That is already an improvement over what we had before. Notre Dame comes emotionally prepared for these environments, ready to go. They didn't get over the hump against Ohio State, but it wasn't because they weren't emotionally ready and matched Ohio State's intensity. So I respect guys like that, and it's a big feather in Brom's cap that he has. He's known for that, and I respect that. They got a lot of athletes. I get that. They have, outside of Prime, Louisville has the most transfers on both sides of the ball than any team in the country. So they're doing this with guys that came elsewhere, blended together. They're undefeated so far. You can question the schedule if you want. Common opponent is very, very interesting with NC State. They're in a 13-10 game at NC State with them. And then you look at us and the numbers we put up, and that's where it gets interesting to me, looking at the differences with that common opponent. And so that's very interesting to me. And I don't know what the reality is with Louisville yet. I don't feel like I've seen enough of them against good teams or a top-tier opponent to really know. But I do know this. They are going to freaking be ready. They are going to be ready, and Notre Dame's got to match it, and we got to be ready because I'm just telling you, they're going to be ready. And I need Notre Dame to match it. Nikki Dean likes to be heard and seen. $2 holler. I appreciate that. All right, I'll hit some calls first since I don't want to make people wait on a Friday night. And then I'll get into some of my notes. I have a feeling. Jacob, that's the issue I'm having. Besides NC State, they played garbage. That's the issue I have too. And I don't blame their fans. They're undefeated, and fans of any team, if you're 5-0, 6-0, you get to this point in the year, you're undefeated. Who am I to tell you not to have wild dreams and go for it? I'm just telling you, these Louisville people are out of their mind. I'm looking at Twitter and they're calling for the blowout. Like we're going to blow these guys out. We're going to be running all over them. And they're ripping on Notre Dame Stadium, saying their stadium's has more tradition and is bigger and better than ours. They're having DJ parties in the parking lot. I told you, my cousin works for Corporate Kroger. They got a big event going on there in Louisville. They're ready. I'm just telling you. They're ready, and Notre Dame's got to match it. Larry, hilarious today. Hey, if I got to wear that Ohio State stuff, I was going to make content out of it. I wasn't going to sit there and just be sad. I had to make I had to liven it up a little bit. Oh, let's see what some of the callers think. 702, what do you want to do? 570-812-333 after that. Nathan, what's going on?
John, it's creeping me out that you know it's me every time.
Dude, I have a computer program. Your last name pops right up on the screen, man.
I'm just messing with you.
Nathan, I want to know, first off, good job on the golf round today. Anything in the 70s is a good day, and that's some tidy golf. Very good job by you. That is really tidy golf. Good job on that. Nathan, where are you at with Notre Dame going to Louisville? It's another tough night dynamic, all of that stuff. We know what's going on there. I just don't know what the reality is about this Louisville team. What are your feelings the night before going into this?
Yeah, so I was telling someone this earlier. I think they have about as good of a chance as beating Notre Dame as NC State did. And I know Louisville just beat NC State, last Friday night or whatever it was. But in reality, I don't think that they're a better team than NC State overall. I think NC State's quarterback situation was pretty putrid, but like from a talent to talent perspective, I probably would have assumed NC State would win that game. And, again, not taking anything away from Louisville in general, they obviously played a good enough game to go beat NC State. But and then you throw in the factor, obviously, that it's a road game. It's at night. It's going to be the third out of 4 primetime games in a row. And that's where I kind of give them that edge of it's the NC State game all over again. NC State might have the edge from a talent perspective, but Louisville has the edge of it being a night game on the road. And it being a prime time, and all the guys can get fired up, the fans are fired up, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, without getting into too much detail before we start kind of talking a little bit here about the nitty gritty stuff, that's kind of how I view it. And so I'm expecting a Notre Dame. I don't really like to give predictions too often. It's just not really something I do in general. But I think it's going to end up a lot like that NC State game where Notre Dame wins by double-digit touchdowns when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Listen, here's one thing I'm thinking about. Tell me if you agree. I'm really looking for tomorrow night to be an opportunity for Notre Dame's offense to really get back on track. We understand they played 2 really tough, good defenses the last 2 weeks. I respect Louisville, but their defense is not at the level of the last 2 games. I need Notre Dame to get back on track offensively, not only for tomorrow night, but for what comes after it. That is one of the top things I'm looking for tomorrow. Do you think we're going to see that?
Yeah, so that kind of leads into what I just said, is that I think it's a good matchup for Notre Dame. And NC State, for example, good defense. Notre Dame was able to kind of expose them in the end. Even though they had some 3 and outs, they had some big chunk plays. I'm expecting a lot of chunk plays against Louisville. And then, for as good as Louisville is, like you said, I was listening to it before you called me on. Louisville has every right to have a lot of confidence right now. They're 5-0, whatever it is. Who is it for us to say that their fans can't be fired up or expect big things, right?
Yeah.
So, but the fact of the matter is they don't have the defense that Duke has. They don't have the defense that Ohio State has. And in general, we left those games thinking that Notre Dame left points on the board. I know Duke played well. I know Ohio State played well, given their props. But it's also fair to say that we left points on, or that Notre Dame left points on the board against much better defenses than Louisville. I just don't think that Notre Dame will do that for a 3rd week in a row. I guess we'll see. And then B, I don't think they'll do it for a 3rd week in a row simply because I don't think that the defense is as good as the 2 weeks prior.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how I see it too. And I really want to see that running game inside get cranked up again with a little more production, and getting the wide receivers back helps. Obviously getting those guys back help in the run game and the pass game, the way Jaden Thomas blocks, like you even like that in the run game. Let me ask you this, Nathan. Eli Reardon's coming back. Do you think he's going to get a lot of action tomorrow? Are they going to ease him in, or is he ready to go where you could slip him out there as an extra wide receiver almost if you need to and get him some throws? What's the plan going to be for him coming back off that ACL?
You know what? I was listening to the Hit and Hustle podcast from yesterday, earlier today when I was driving home. And they brought up a good point. And first of all, I think Raridan's a really good player. I think he's a talented player. I think he's a guy that as the season goes on and as the years go on at Notre Dame, he's going to be a really effective player. I think it's tough to expect some sort of crazy game from him week 1, or his week 1, I should say.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's a good chance, and this is what the Hit and Hustle podcast said, I think there's a good chance that they scheme up a play for him, possibly even early on. And if it goes well, he makes a good catch, whatever it may be, then maybe they start throwing him a little bit more often, even. And then we see from there. I mean, because we all know what the talent level was of him coming out of high school. I mean, he was supposed to be much better than guys like Mitchell Evans and even Holden Stays, even though Holden Stays was a high level recruit as well. So I think it's one of those things where you're going to have to just kind of see where it goes. If it takes a couple weeks, don't be surprised. But if he has a big play or he catches a touchdown or, it could be one catch for, 20 yards, but it could be a big third down. I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different situations where he can affect the game tomorrow night. And I think the important part is that he's much more like a Mitchell Evans from a what he can do standpoint. And the type of tight end role that he plays than he is a Holden Stays. So that provides depth there. We saw what happened against Duke when Mitchell Evans went out with that ankle injury, foot injury, whatever it was, for like 2 minutes. We were all like, holy crap, this is the only guy that can make plays for us tonight.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? And hopefully Eli Raridan, if that were to happen to something like Evans in this game, he can be the guy that steps up and produces for you.
Yeah. Nathan, here's something else I always think about in these environments, especially when you're going on the road at night somewhere. If they're undefeated, then, all their dreams are alive. The place is going to be electric. How important do you think it is? I think it's very important for Notre Dame to get off to a good start tomorrow, quiet some of that crowd down, settle into this game, and try and take control. I think it's a big deal. Notre Dame starts out in a good place tomorrow to be able to kind of calm that environment down a little bit, because it's going to be rowdy. And I just need us to do something that makes that crowd go, oh man, maybe we better chill out. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what? And it's weird. Like, part of me wants them to start on defense because I would love to get in Plummer's face early on and kind of get him rattled from the get-go. That's not usually what people want when they're, they usually want, we want the ball first and then, go down and score, make it 7-0. And then boom, you're, how are they going to counter that? Right.
Yeah.
7-0 is a lot better than, starting 3 and out. And then maybe you start 3 and out as well. But I think in this scenario where the Louisville, the crowd is going to be jumping and they want to get off to that 7-0 start, and kind of prove that they can score on a team like Notre Dame, I think it would be a big positive for not just the defense, but the team as a whole. If Notre Dame was able to force a 3 and out or force a turnover, maybe get like a big sack and push them back to where they're punting from like their 10-yard line or something like that early on, just to kind of exert dominance and say, hey, you're not going to move the ball on us today.
Yeah. I think getting off to a good start in these environments is key. And the other thing, Nathan, is this is big picture, but we knew that this 4-week stretch was going to be very challenging for Notre Dame. We all talked about it all summer and all the buildups looking at the schedule. Man, it ended up being tougher than we even thought, with no bye till after your 8th game. And then having these and it's bookended by 2 teams that everybody in America knows about. And the 2 in the middle are these really tough road games against well-coached teams with coaches you respect and guys that play tough. Man, this is a tough stretch. And you know what, though? That's what you want if you're Notre Dame. You want to be in the big time every week. That's what you get. Notre Dame moves the needle, and it's just the way it is. You just got to survive this one and ramp up into USC. But, man, life's wild for Notre Dame in this stretch. This month determines the whole year. So it's been really interesting.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Like, I think we were texting about this earlier. It would have been nice to have, a bye week either after Ohio State or after Duke. The schedule itself, where they play, Ohio State and then back-to-back road games against quality opponents and then USC at home, that doesn't bother me as much as the no bye week, because just think about it from this perspective. Notre Dame was down Jaden Thomas and Jaden Greathouse last week. Both of those guys got hurt either in the Ohio State game or the week after the Ohio State game leading into the Duke game, right? Imagine if they had a bye week after Ohio State. both of those guys play against Duke, and maybe we're thinking about this offense completely differently.
Yeah. That was a frustrating set of dynamics. You knew their defense was tough. You knew we were hurting at wide receiver, and it all kind of piled up. And now, Nathan, people are nervous about the offense, and I admit I'm one of them. It has not looked great the last 2 weeks. I understand and respect those defenses, but Notre Dame needed and should have scored a lot more points in both games. And I need to see it trending back on the upswing tomorrow night, leading into what we have after that. Like, I just need it. And I don't even want to think about what this is going to turn into if I don't get it. I need it. It's not a want, Nathan. It's a need.
Yeah. And I think the other aspect of that maybe some people aren't talking about enough is that it wasn't even the fact that Notre Dame was down, a couple of their best receivers. I mean, that played a role. But I think the fact that they essentially only played 3 receivers the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, playing only 3 receivers, I don't care how good they are.
Yep.
If Ohio State only played 3 receivers against Notre Dame and it was Harrison Jr., Emeka Ibuka, and Julian Fleming, like that's a big deal if you can't rotate guys, get them rest. I mean, we saw, Harrison go down in that Ohio State game. If they don't have guys to come in and kind of supplement some plays here and there, they might not have the luxury of bringing him back in as early as they did, or him be as effective as he was throughout that entire game. So in Notre Dame's case, they had only Merriweather, Tyree, and Flores, one of those being obviously a true freshman.
Yeah, one of them being a freshman. One of them being a freshman.
Yeah.
One a converted running back, and another guy who's still trying to find his way and get comfortable in the college game. It was not an ideal setup, man. Right. That's a dark. And you know what else, Nathan? Nobody wants to hear it, but I've been saying, hey, you could thank the guy down at Mardi Gras right now for that dynamic. Like, we are trying to build out of it, but you could thank Mardi Gras and Nick Saban's new nephew for what we got in that wide receiver room. Cam Williams is going to walk in there and start and be good week 1 next year. Wait and see.
So that's what I was actually trying to stay away from, because I do think it has more to do with the fact that they had a lack of numbers than a lack of talent. Right now I just think there's a big load management issue when it comes to,
because there's nothing you can do. There's not much you could do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you just having the numbers would have been a big deal, I guess is what I'm really getting at.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, Notre Dame's down 4 receivers that they were supposed to have at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
People joke about Matt Salerno. They like Matt Salerno, and he's at least a quality, reserve guy.
Yeah.
And then you were down the other, the other 3 that we just mentioned. One of them got hurt early on in the season. A couple of the other guys, obviously, just got hurt that week, but that's 4 guys right there. And then technically speaking, you still have the 2 other guys in Braylon James and Jordan Faison, but they're either clearly not ready yet, or I think in Faison's case, they might not want to burn that scholarship just yet, because once they put him on the field, he's on scholarship and he's no longer a lacrosse scholarship. So
yeah.
I think from that perspective, that might have played a role.
But man, it's just not ideal. It all just points to how bad the operation was with recruiting, development, retention, and scouting and the whole thing. And we're getting better at it. It's trending up. But this is the kind of issue that years and years of mismanagement, it rears its head down the road. Not in that recruiting class. It always takes a couple years for you to see the results of that. And then you got to catch up. Yeah. So, Nathan, I don't know,
and
man.
I do think Cam Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, and I do think Cam Williams is going to come in right away and play a lot. So, I mean, no doubting that.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, Nathan, here's the next thing is maybe let's get through this week. Then we have all the USC build up. And at some point, either next week or during the bye, come back on and we'll do a recruiting breakdown and we'll look at everything going on there. How's that sound?
Happy to do it. I was originally going to go to USC too, and now I'm not. So I'm pretty bummed about that, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll be in touch, man. And we'll do a recruiting episode. You can fill us in on the latest. Okay.
Sure thing. Thanks, John.
Hey, man, I really appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by and good shooting on that 77, buddy. Have you a beer? You deserve one.
Thanks.
Have a good one, Betty. Thanks. Oh, Nathan
Bye.
Urbach, one of the golden homers, does a lot of recruiting research. We're going to go to Nikki Dean. Then we're going to hit the 570. And then 616 donated as well. I'm going to make sure I get to all you guys. Nikki Dean likes to be heard and seen. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
What up?
I'm here. Well, I'm talking to you.
You certainly
And
are.
I'm telling you, we gotta get real tomorrow. We gotta make sure our offensive line is killing people and our defensive secondary is covering everybody. That's what we got to do tomorrow.
Yeah, it's true, man. I am
down in Louisville.
Nick, I'm telling you, man, I am ready to see this Notre Dame offense get right back on track. I am ready to see them running the ball with some creativity. I am ready to see those wide receivers making plays down the field. Like, I just need these last 2 weeks have just been a little stagnant, and I'm ready to see them break back out. This defense is not what we faced the last 2 weeks. There's no excuse. I need to see it, and I think we will. Like, I think Notre Dame should be able to run the ball tomorrow. I'm going to be upset if they don't.
You know, John, you know me, and I love me some Audric Estime.
Oh, baby. Who doesn't?
I love me.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some Jeremiah Love.
Yep.
But I also love me some Sam Hartman dishing it out all around the field.
Yep.
And that's what we have to do tomorrow. We have to make sure Audric Estime gets 5, 6, 7 yards. Jeremiah Love gets 6, 7, 8 yards. And then Sam Hartman throws for 300 yards.
I'm telling you, Nick.
Against
Nick,
Louisville.
What a great thunder lightning combination between the way Audric runs and the way Jeremiah Love runs. It is like the perfect lightning and thunder dynamic. And against Ohio State, Notre Dame ran a lot of those two-back sets with a little creativity, and it put a little doubt in Ohio State's mind of which one of these backs is going to get the ball. They did some really nifty, creative things with a two-back set. And then we didn't see it last week. I want to see him get back to some of that. I thought that was a nice little wrinkle to try and cause a half a second of processing delay for Ohio State to figure out what's going on with those multiple backs with diverging skill sets. And I loved it. Like, I want to see more of that. Give me some more of that action, boss.
Preach on. Preach it.
I loved it. And you know what else? If I'm going to start preaching in my gold chain, I'm going to give you this too. I want to see those backs in the passing game a little more. I think there's a lot more. Yeah. I think there's more meat on the bone for dump offs and nifty little stuff in between the zone, and get it to them in space, give them one block, and there they go. I want to see more of that. We got more. Nick, we have better athletes now than we've had in a bunch of years. I need to see them used better. I want to see all these guys get some action.
You got Hartman that can flick the ball out 3 yards to Jeremiah Love, and he can go 17 yards. Why stop it?
Yeah, I want to see it. Now, Nick, let me ask you this. Are you buying into this Louisville hype? If you look on Twitter, those people they're expecting to be in the Super Bowl this year. Like, they are running their mouths and they are convinced they're blowing Notre Dame out. Like, they have high expectations for this situation, bro. Like, dude, they do.
You're John.
I'm just telling you.
Up here.
I'm just telling you.
Don't do it.
I'm telling you, bro.
Don't do it.
You should see my Twitter's a dumpster. My Twitter's a dumpster fire. I mean, these people are going at me and I'm going right back at them. They're convinced this is it for them, man. This is it.
In my opinion, Louisville ain't going to score 12 points on us. And we are going to whoop their ass.
Oh, Nick.
Whoop their ass.
Nick, I hope so. And then you know what that would do? you would be flying high to get ready for everything the next game's going to bring. Like, it would be beautiful. I understand the players and coaches have to look at tomorrow night only. I don't necessarily have to. I want them to parlay this baby with momentum and feeling good about the offense and beat somebody good on the road and get back into South Bend flying high to build up next week with a different result than the last time we built up a home game.
Hey, you and I can be on a different level than coaches.
Yeah.
Kent, right there.
Yeah.
He's upset because he missed the Woody show. Well, you know what, Kent? Sorry about that, bro.
Hey, Kent, I will tell you this.
I like Kent. I love Kent. Kent has been an honorable OSU fan since he's been here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Tomorrow night, we are going to make sure Louisville understands we are better than them.
That's the idea.
And we are going to make a statement that we should be in consideration for the playoffs. Even though we lost to OSU by 3 points.
Well, you got to win every game to be considered for the playoff now. You have to if you're Notre Dame. You're not getting in with 2, and you may not even get in with 1. So you better win them all. It's not even an option anymore. Got to win them all, baby. All of them. Every one. Let's get it.
Well, yeah, but OSU is probably going to lose a game to Michigan.
And make the playoff, and then Michigan will too. And then the Big Ten has 2 playoff spots. That's one of my biggest fears. If we go 11-1 and that happens, they're getting 2 spots, and I hate it. I hate it.
You and I are both baiting Kent right now. I'm sorry.
I'm taking it easy on Kent right now. And if Kent missed the Woody show, when this one's over, go back and watch it. It's on the channel. You just won't see it live, but he can watch the chats and everything. So what are you guys going to do for the game, man? Are you going to watch Brian Kelly hopefully lose to Missouri in the morning, or what are you going to do for the game? That's what I'm going to do.
Well, Ian, here's the thing. I'm going to wake up tomorrow about, 1 o'clock Indiana time. And then I'm going to start thinking about, I got to do this and that. And I got, things I got to do around my house. And then I'm going to think about, hey, it's about 4 o'clock. I need to watch Notre Dame. And then about 7:30, I'll be like, hey, what's going on, Johnny? Where you at?
Nick, I love you, man. You're a wild man. You know that, dude? You got a little unpredictability in you that a guy like me appreciates, Nick. I don't know any other way to say that. I think that's a good compliment coming from me. You got a little unpredictability in you that I like a lot. It works for me, man. I never know what I'm going to get from you. It's wild. I like it.
You know what, Johnny? I love the hell out of you. I love the hell out of your show.
I appreciate it.
And keep doing what you do, bro.
Oh, hey, we've gone way too far to ever slow down now, man. And I got news for you. I got other stuff coming up you guys are going to like. I have a couple announcements. So we got some stuff cooking, man. The horse is out of the barn and it's never coming home. So we're going to keep pushing this thing and growing, man. I really appreciate the call, Nick. I hope you and your lovely wife have a great weekend and enjoy the Irish win. Give me a call after the game if you feel like it, okay?
Go motherfucking Irish.
God bless you, Nick. Have a good one. I'm telling you what, man, I never know what I'm going to get here. Why, dude, for what? Kent's like not even saying anything. This time, Kent really did come in just being like normal. And people are ripping on him. Like I do it when he triggers me in a certain way. And you guys are right. I am in a better mood. You know why? Because I'm with all you people talking about Notre Dame. That puts me in a good mood. And I'm not wearing that garbage red crap anymore. That puts me in a good mood. Like, man. 570. What do you know? Welcome to the show.
Good evening, John. How are you?
I'm doing very well, my friend. I'm excited to see Notre Dame on the big stage in front of the bright lights with everybody watching again for the third time in what'll be 4 weeks in a row.
Again and again.
Yep.
And again.
It never ends. It never, but you know what, man? Isn't that what we want? Because we're Notre Dame and we want to be on that stage. So I can't complain because it's the ultimate compliment, even though it's tough for the team to navigate. You know?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And for all those, I don't know, I don't want to say a swear word, but for all those people who say, oh, Notre Dame never plays anybody.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Again and again and again.
Yep.
And guess what? Next week, again.
Yep. It never ends. And you know what, man? I mean, it's a tough stretch, but you got to be, it is the ultimate compliment in a lot of ways. But the hypocrisy, man, I call it out all the time. You know, on Twitter, I get nailed. Notre Dame doesn't mean anything. You're nothing. You're has-beens, whatever. All these fan bases say it. And then our game with them shows up and it gets flexed into prime time. And it's the whole state fairs there. And it's the biggest event of the year. But Notre Dame doesn't move the needle, though, right? Doesn't move the needle at all.
Absolutely. And you know, and as you know, I'm a newcomer to Notre Dame.
Yeah, you have very unique circumstances that brought you to town. I know.
Yeah, and I hope nobody holds that against me, but it is what it is, and I'm a Penn Stater. I'm proud that you wore the gear today, even though it broke your heart, but you were a man of your word, and you wore the gear that the bet you made. Unfortunately, you and we lost the bet, but it is what it is, and you did it right.
It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. And you know what? I mean, I was in a bad mood about it, but I tried to have a little fun with it and at least get some content out of it and make it an event. So I tried to navigate it.
You did a great job of it. And believe me, I know, because I wore the Penn State gear forever, and now I wear the Notre Dame gear, and it's something different for me, but I feel your pain, but I also know that, you know, I wear the Notre Dame gear because that's where I am right now, and it is what it is.
Yep, it is what it is. And it's just a long day, man. You know, it's a lot of me pacing around the house when Notre Dame has a night game. You know, and then when the other games get going, it gets you excited, but builds the anxiety more because it's football, but it isn't your football. And it's just these night games in early fall are magic, man. It's just the weather's just about right. And it's just, this is what Notre Dame football is about, man, on the big stage. And I'm not going to complain about it. It's a grind. And I just need Notre Dame to go to Louisville prepared. I am not sure exactly what level Louisville's at, but I do know for sure their head coach is going to have those boys ready to go. And if Notre Dame doesn't match that energy, it could be a long night. But I suspect after the last couple weeks, we'll be trending back up with some more energy.
You're right. You're right. And I just get the feeling that all the chirping from the Louisville fans, you've said it many times, this is everybody's Super Bowl.
Yep.
And this is what they're chirping about. And my only concern is that I personally, I don't get the feeling that the Notre Dame fans are as up for this as they need to be. And Louisville's good, and Bone's a good coach, but they're really into this, and hopefully the team is too.
But man, I talk about that dynamic all the time. They're undefeated, so they have every right to be excited. All their dreams are in front of them. When you're undefeated, you're allowed that dream. No matter who you play, you are. And they're building this up. And from the Notre Dame end, you know, you're still coming off the Ohio State and then the close call yesterday or last week. And then also you have Notre Dame fans. You know, this is irresponsible, but there's a lot of fans already looking to USC week. That's why this is a tricky spot for Notre Dame right here in the middle.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But I think Marcus will have them ready. I think they're trending back up and they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be a little more focused. They're not coming right off the heels of that brutal situation a couple weeks ago. I genuinely expect them to be a tighter operation with a little more focus this week, just because of the human element of all this. I really think that.
And the human element sort of disappointed me this week. Notre Dame won. They won.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I read and what I heard is that well, we won.
Yep.
We won.
Yep.
And that's all that matters right now. It just matters that you win.
Hey, I can't change my position. I said all last week, coming out of that Ohio State depression, I said, you got to get a win no matter what it looks like. I'm not going to complain that much. You need a win to save the season, steady the rocky seas, whatever. We got it. All right, we got it.
Next point is congratulations on the merch store. I was looking at it earlier and everything looks great, and I'm looking forward to getting my Always Irish merch.
Hey man, I
and
really
everybody
appreciate
else
it.
did too.
Thank you very much, man. It took me an embarrassing amount of time to build that store out, design all the shirts, do it all myself. I'm not the most tech savvy guy, so that was a project. So thank you for recognizing that. I'm glad I got it done.
Well, if you think you're not tech savvy, think about a 68-year-old guy who.
Oh, come on. You got it.
I have to call my kid all the time. I have an issue with anything. And
yeah. But I figured it out somehow. So we got it going, and people were asking for it, and a bunch of people have purchased already. And I'm gonna have more things coming out. Now everybody wants the chains. I just don't know how to get them mass produced, but everybody wants the chains now.
Well, you need to call. Who was it that gave you the chain?
Mark with glasses is the screen name.
Mark with glasses. That's right.
Yeah.
You need to call him and ask him where he got it, and make a connection there.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to get that going. And he was at the tailgate, just like you and I were. He did, and he bestowed that on me. So it was just glorious, man.
You were beaming when you got that.
I'm telling you, man, it fits my personality so great. It's just about right. But listen, man, I want you to relax, have a good weekend. I mean, I know it's been a wild couple weeks, out your way. And so I hope things settle down and we get a big win tomorrow and then we build up to USC.
Well, thank you very much. And, you know how I feel about you and how I feel about Notre Dame and the team. And just thanks for your voice. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for what you say and your emotion and your passion. And that's what has drawn me to your podcast versus all the others. And I do check in on all the others, but no doubt about it. Where the hell's Pat tonight?
I don't know. I have no idea. I sent him the link. Maybe he's locked up in the local jail. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he's at. I'm not his keeper. Maybe the wife made him go hang out with the family for once. I don't know. I have no idea where he's at, but I'm not going to worry about it too much either.
No, don't worry about it. But I have one other question. I saw in the chat earlier something about Taylor Swift. What's the connection with Taylor Swift? Have I missed something here?
I have no idea, other than that if she's all over the NFL now because she's dating the tight end from the Chiefs. I don't know if it connects to us in any way, but I've seen her on all the NFL stuff because of that.
Can I tell you a quick story about Taylor Swift?
Sure.
I'm from Pennsylvania. And I was a season ticket holder for the Reading Phillies, which is a AA affiliate of the Philadelphia Phillies. And during those 10 years, I sang the national anthem many, many, many times. I'm a singer, and I sang the anthem at the ball games. And Taylor Swift, as a 10, 11, 12-year-old, would come and sing the national anthem.
Oh, wow.
And she's from Reading, Pennsylvania. Well, right outside of Reading. And, she was an up-and-coming, whatever you want to call her. Now, obviously, she's a mega, mega, mega star.
Yeah.
And, but when the Reading Phillies came home from spring training in Florida, they would always play their AAA affiliate from Allentown, Pennsylvania, and then before the opening night of their regular season. So one year I was there, and I was honored to be able to sing the national anthem at the AAA affiliate versus the AA Reading Phillies game. And the next night, Taylor Swift sang the national anthem. So I have a connection with Taylor Swift where I sang on the same microphone that Taylor Swift sang on.
I'm telling you, man, hey, you need to join the tour. You guys could hit the world stage together, man. You and her sing a duet. Get up there.
Yeah, I heard recently that she made $1 billion this year singing at her concerts, and I'm on retirement.
Hey, you know what, buddy? At the tailgate next year, we're going to give you a microphone and you're going to entertain the crowd. We're going to put you on the spot. You'll be the entertainment of the night. Oh, hey, man.
Not a problem. I sing all the time. I sing in several choirs, church and community, and I have no problem singing. And I'll be glad to do it for you, John. We'll have to ring up the Notre Dame fight song, and I'll get it going.
Oh, man, I love it, man. You're amazing. Thank you for the story. Thank you for your support. And you guys enjoy the football weekend and a big win by the Irish. And I think Marcus is going to have those guys ready to go, my friend.
Thank you, John. Love you, brother.
Have a good one, man. Take care. That is a person with a very, very, very unique connection to Notre Dame that I've gotten to meet, and a lovely, lovely guy. Great family. All right, we're getting more calls, so I'm going to try and move it along so more people could get in, okay? Again, let me explain this. The way this goes is I don't want anybody to ever, oh, this isn't fair. You give some people more time or whatever. Here's the ratio. The more callers that are waiting, the quicker I got to go. The fewer callers, the more I could spread out the time and give everybody more. So sometimes I'll start and then I look and 10 people call in. Like it kind of moves and has its own life. Okay. 616 donated. 616, you're in the mix. What's going on?
Hey, John. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for the call, my friend. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm just sitting here worried about the game as per usual on a Friday night.
Man, isn't it? There's no anxiety like Notre Dame football anxiety, is there? It is just like this.
Just a little bit.
It's just like I crave it, even though it's like kind of uncomfortable. I crave it. I miss it all summer. I want that anxiety, and it's just there's nothing like it. So, what are your thoughts about this, man? The Louisville hype machine is in full scale hype machine over there. What do you make of this? What's the reality we're dealing with here tomorrow?
I have been seeing a lot of that on the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Interesting to say the least.
They are bold. Like, I mean, I'm seeing stuff more than like, hey, we're going to play good tomorrow. I mean, it's getting wild. And I need Notre Dame to get right offensively and trend up into USC. That's on my agenda, and I need it. I don't want it. I need it.
I want and I need the offensive line to show us what they're made of.
Yep.
That's all it's all about.
Listen, man.
That is it.
They had a
the
rough
offensive line. Are we going to dominate or not?
They had a rough last week and they weren't able to adjust. The other thing, looking at people that break down film in a way that I'm not capable, they said that getting pushed around is one thing, but Notre Dame's offensive line had trouble identifying what was coming from Duke. Like Elko's so good at mixing up the looks and the coverages and the fronts and who's coming and who's backing off. They were having a hard time processing who even needed to do what. And it was just kind of rough. And I want to throw it all out. We got the win. Forget about it. Flush it down the toilet with that Woody Hayes hat I had on this morning. And then go in there and push these people around and shut these people up.
Hey, man, I hear you. I really do. But the fact of the matter is our offense hasn't been very good for the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
So let's have a showing out party. Let's have a coming out party.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we understand who Notre Dame is this week. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Offensive line needs to show up. Our running game needs to show up. Let's just be real. In my opinion, Greathouse and Jaden Thomas, that's his two favorite wide receivers, man.
Yeah. No, they both
Those
are.
are his two favorite wide receivers.
And you know what else I'm never going to discount is Jaden Thomas is a way above average blocker as a wide receiver. And that is something that Notre Dame uses in the pass game and the run game. Getting him back out there, it's a big deal. And now here's the question, though, man. Just because they're back, I don't know if they're fully healthy or not. Like, are they full speed with everything? Because we don't have the numbers to be able to give them another week off. Like, I just hope if they're back and not just out there but limping around or whatever. Like, I need him to be back.
I hear you. And I had that same thought to myself earlier today. Like, are they actually back, or are they just like being limping out there?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Notre Dame doesn't
no
have the
one's
numbers.
actually going to know until it actually happens.
Yeah.
No one's actually going to know, but I know one thing for sure. For sure, Mitchell Evans had a great game last week.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, Rico Flores is getting better. For sure, those are the two wide receivers that he likes the most. I mean, Tobias Merriweather should be better at this point in time, kind of getting under the skin of everybody, including myself. And it's just like, hey, what do we need to do? And I just keep on going back to myself in my head. The offensive line needs to win.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
Yep. They absolutely do.
We need to win.
Yeah.
And that's about all there is to it. If offensive line wins, we start getting 6 yards a carry. Not 6 yards. Let's be like nice about it. 4.5 yards a carry. Let's just be nice about it, and let's just be real. I mean, maybe not 6, but maybe we'll. But at the end of the day, we will win this game on the back of the offensive line. That's all there is to it. We got a great defensive secondary. They can slow down this rash guy everybody's talking about. They can.
Yeah. Yep.
If our defensive line, it's all about the trenches. It's all about the trenches this weekend, man.
Isn't it funny, man?
Our defensive line.
It's so funny to me, though. All these advancements in the game and changes and the trends that come and go. And then what it ends up being is the same it's always been. When you break down every big game, everybody goes, well, what are you going to do up front on both sides of the ball? Like, all these changes in the sport, and it comes down to it. If you want to be really good, you got to push people around both ways. And also, I want penalties cleaned up, and I want sharper tackling. And I know I need it too. Just like I need the other thing, I need that too. Less penalties, even with these ACC refs that are going to be out to get us. And I need to wrap up, and I need you to get guys down with that tackling.
I just have a hard time believing that we're not going to come out ready. I just have a weird feeling. I know we're on back-to-back. Really prime time game, but I just really feel like our team's ready for it. I really do.
Yeah. And you know what? Why I think that too, and I could be wrong about this. This could just be me, but a part of me feels like, you had the Ohio State situation, and then you survived Duke, and those were like kind of 2 weeks blended into one, the way the aftermath of Ohio State kind of caused a hangover in all Notre Dame Nation.
Awful. It was awful, dude. And we played on one leg basically the whole game because we could not, we were talking about the fan base. We were talking about this game, this Ohio State game, until Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, that's
not even thinking about the fact that we were playing a top 25.
Yep.
Really good team.
Danger. And you knew it was danger.
Really bad.
You knew it was danger. The coaches were even having to answer questions about Ohio State on Wednesday of Duke week. Like, that's rare. It was dangerous, and you got through it. Now my thinking is, all right, big sigh of relief. We made it through. Didn't let one loss snowball into 2. I fully expect Notre Dame to come in with a clear mind, more stable emotions, and not having their batteries on empty. I expect a more ready-to-go team this week. I do, and I'm going to be really upset if I don't see it, because that's genuinely my expectation for tomorrow night.
Yes, I completely agree. And one thing that I haven't seen in the past couple of weeks that I kind of miss from the first few weeks of the season is, where are the running backs out of the backfield for reception?
I've been begging.
That's why we have LeBron Payne. That's why we have
begging for it. It is. You have all those guys that are some of your most dynamic athletes. The more of them you can get involved, and the more they could be on the same field at the same time, the better to me. That's how I see it, especially if you don't know that you can trust your wide receivers and you have depth problems and reliability problems and all of that. The more of those good dynamic guys you could get in the mix, the better. I want to see it, and I'm waiting for it. Get those guys involved in the pass game.
Please do.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, let's get Chris Tyree involved in something that's a little bit outside the box from, let's have him run a route. Let's have him put him in motion, give him a little jet sweep motion. Maybe he's going to get it. Maybe he's not.
Yeah.
But please give me something.
Yeah.
Because he's been a running back for 2-3 years now. I mean, he obviously has the ability to get the ball and run with it. Like, dang, man. It's just like, come on. Let's use our weapons. And let's just run down their goddamn throats. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Nope. Hey, that sounds good to me. So I fully expect Notre Dame to come out more prepared and in a better mental place to perform tomorrow night. It's important to me that they trend up and have a good night tomorrow leading into what comes next. That's my roadmap, and I don't even want to think if it goes any other way than that. That's what I need. That's what I think we're going to see, and we just better. Anything else, my friend? Thank you for the call on a Friday night.
It's all good, man. Hey, it's all good. I have one more thing.
Sure.
Jordan Botelho is out for the first half. Yeah?
Yep.
So we got Julio Maka and Burnham. Burnham, when he's on the field, he's a game wrecker, basically.
Yeah, he's come on strong.
In my opinion.
He's come on stronger than anybody thought, to be honest. Yeah.
I think this is a great opportunity for him and for our whole entire defense. And then when Botelho, he's gonna come out, he's gonna show his skills. And then Botelho's gonna come in and he's gonna show his skills too, because he's gonna be pissed off because Burnham is going to make some plays, and that's gonna light a fire in my opinion.
I like that. Get them all fired up. Yeah, that competition. Get one going, and the other one follows suit to keep pace. I like it, baby. I like that a lot. I really do. Hey, man, I want you to enjoy the football weekend. Root for Missouri tomorrow at the 11 a.m. window against Swamp Thing down there at Mardi Gras, and then we'll see what's cooking for Notre Dame tomorrow night, man. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, absolutely. One more thing.
Yeah.
We need to stop worrying about Brian Kelly because he's already digging his grave. That's it.
I'm not worrying about him. I'm laughing at him now. It's not my problem. There is no worry now. And now it's just observing, and it's fun, man. Hey, thanks a lot. Have a good weekend.
Man.
Enjoy the game, man. Enjoy the game.
You as well, John.
Take care. Thank you, sir. I see you 385. I have a couple that paid before you, and then we'll go right to you. You'll be on, you'll come up on the paid list here in a second. 815, make it come alive. What's going on?
How's it going, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, congratulations. I see you guys getting some good guests and doing some good work out there on your show. Good job, man. You got to just keep grinding. Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We're actually going to plan is to have Daniel Anderson back on for next week's pick'ems for the USC game. So it'll be some fun.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good job on that. I want to know where you're at on this Louisville situation. Tricky dynamic for Notre Dame in the midst of this 4-game brutal, tough stretch. They're all fired up. It's their Super Bowl. I want to know what you think about this the night before.
So, I mean, my mom's actually a Louisville alum, but she's a big Notre Dame fan. So I know a little bit about Louisville. My mom lives in Kentucky now. And I've got a buddy of mine that's a big UK fan who lives in Louisville. So he kind of gave me the inside scoop. Louisville fans, this is their Super Bowl. From everything I'm hearing, kind of like what it was for Duke last week. So Louisville fans, it's a sellout. Louisville doesn't have too many sellouts, so take that for what it's worth. But one thing I will say is Louisville's schedule has been very soft
Yep.
to this point.
Yep.
I
It's
mean,
tough
the
to
best team
judge.
they've played
It's
is
NC State on the road, right? It's really tough to gauge. And then let me ask you this. I don't know what to make of this. I'm going to just throw it to you. Let me know what you think. Okay, that's the common opponent that we can look at, whatever. What should we take from the fact that our game was like in the 40s and then their game is 13-10, but ours was 45-20 or whatever? What do you make out of that? Can you take anything out of that when you have a common opponent and the scores are that varied? Does that mean anything to you or not really?
To me, it does, because I think common opponents is it's not always the final indicator, because football math is a very tricky thing. But I will say, I watched the Louisville and NC State game, and I will say that Louisville is way more comparable to what NC State is to Notre Dame than what Louisville, you can't compare really the two. I mean, I don't know if you watched that Louisville NC State game, but if we're being honest, NC State probably should have won that game if Brennan Armstrong didn't all of a sudden forget how to play football this season.
Yeah.
That game there were turnovers galore. I think there was somewhere 5-6 turnovers combined. 5 INTs for both teams, and then a fumble. Both teams were trying to give that game away. And the thing with Jack Plummer is he will, if Notre Dame gets pressure, which Notre Dame's been one of the best teams in the country at getting pressure, Jack Plummer will throw an INT. He will throw into double coverage.
Doesn't he have
will make
6
mistakes.
already? I think he has 6 interceptions already.
Yeah, he has 6.
Yeah, if you could get
he leads the country in interceptions.
And you know what, man, you got to get after that kid. I don't think you can sit back there and wait. But you got to, if you're going to try and get after him, you got to actually get after him. You know what I mean? You got to cause that disruption.
Yeah. So he's not very good. I mean, but what scares me is we've seen Jack Plummer 2 times, right?
Yep.
What happened both those times? Notre Dame won, but those games came down to the wire. If we remember that Purdue game in 2021. And then last year, Cal, it came down to a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
I think the key with Jack Plummer is he's one of those guys where if you give him time in the pocket, he's good enough to read your defense because he's a 6th-year guy. But if you just give him even a little bit of pressure and make him speed up his decision-making process, Notre Dame's defense, with how good our corners are, should be able to eat all game long.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. Now let me ask this though. They do have some twitchy skill players. Is that any concern at all with some of Notre Dame's loose tackling recently? They do have some twitch guys where if you mess around, they're going to make a move and be gone on you. I really need Notre Dame to tighten that tackling up. And you know what else? You're definitely going to need that the next week too. So you may as well get going on that project now, because you're going to have to tackle good the following week as well,
Yeah, and Jawar Jordan, I saw something today where, people were giving their rankings out for, their top 5 running backs in college football. And a lot of lists I saw on Twitter was Audric Estime 1, Jawar Jordan number 2. So Jawar Jordan is one of those guys where if you watch Louisville anytime this year, he has take it to the house potential on every single play. Yeah. It could go for 2 yards and it looks like he's going to take it to the house. That's how good that kid is.
Yeah.
Now, if Notre Dame messes around and does not tackle, he's the type of guy that will make you pay, and he'll turn a run that if you make a tackle, should maybe be 2 yards, and he'll turn that into a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, it is really interesting to me, that roster construction. They have the most transfers starting on each side of the ball of any team other than Coach Prime in Colorado. It's wild. And I do like Braum. He has a knack for getting his guys up for big moments. I mean, it's just, it could be another tricky dynamic for Notre Dame, but I'm not trying to be mean to Louisville, but I think they're the 4th team of the 4 in this stretch. Do you agree? If I had to rank Ohio State, USC, Duke, and them, they might be good and they're undefeated, but I still think with the overall landscape of talent on all those programs, I have them at the bottom one. And I don't mean that as disrespect. I just mean it as like an analyzation fact.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing that I've kind of told people about this game is that if I'm Louisville, I like where I'm at in this stretch, though, for Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame's coming off, they had that emotional loss to Ohio State where they gave everything they had.
Yep.
They had another emotional win on the road at Duke.
Yep, and a physical game too, and a physical battle too there too. Yep, and they're hoping to catch us looking towards next week. Is that the next thing you're going to say? Yep.
Yeah. So they're looking at. So if I was one of those teams, if I was Ohio State, if I was Ohio State, Duke, Louisville, or USC, and I had to pick and choose where I wanted to have that game, I'd want to be right where Louisville is right now.
Yeah,
because Notre Dame's, us as fans are already looking ahead of the USC game. So that's just human nature.
Yeah.
Imagine these 18, 22-year-old kids. You don't think they're thinking about USC? You don't think they've had that game circled since last year when we got Caleb Williams won his Heisman against us?
Hey, I need Marcus to I need him to redirect that focus, and I need him to be able to have a feel of where they're at and redirect if you need to. I want to think that Notre Dame comes out, happy to be past the Duke Ohio State thing in a better, clear frame of mind, ready to go play. And I need that offensive line to look better and put up a bunch of points. And I don't even want to think of if it goes the other way. I can't even go there yet. That's what I want to see. That's what I think I'm going to see. I'm just saying Louisville may be better than I think. I am just surprised by the confidence of the fan base. It is above and beyond what I'm used to on Twitter. The other fans talking a little crap, whatever. This is above and beyond that. So I don't know what they're on, but they're on one this weekend, man.
Yeah, Louisville, they're, like I said, my buddies over in Kentucky, they think that Louisville fans legitimately think they are going to beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a ruckus environment Saturday night.
It's on Notre Dame. Hey, the best thing you can do there is have a good first quarter and quiet the decibel level there with your play. That is the only thing you're going to be able to do to calm them down. If it goes the other way, you're building them up and you're in for a long night. Start out good, shut them up.
The one thing you have to do if you are Notre Dame, because this is what I think they did against Duke, but they shot themselves in the foot a lot in that game. I want to see improvement with penalties on, false starts, the dumb infraction penalties.
Yep.
And I want to see red zone offense has to get better. Notre Dame has not been a very good red zone offense the last couple of weeks. Have to. When you're on the road in that environment, what takes away momentum? When you get drives like that and you're moving the ball at will. But when you get inside the 25-yard line, you just get a false start. That kills your drive.
And you know what else, too? I want to bring this up to you. Very good point is, we all Notre Dame fans have complaints about the officiating this year. It's been objectively atrocious for the entire season. However, it is not their fault if you're having motion penalties and stuff. You know what I mean? That's not really a judgment. That is like you moved. I want to be clear about that. Like those are all on us and our attention to detail and all that.
When our center is flinching 3 times.
Yeah.
When our center is flinching 3 times, how do you false start as a center?
Hey, you know what? When he flinches 3 times, so do I in the basement. My body seizes 3 times when I see that guy doing all that. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Oh,
you're the one holding the ball. How are you?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody moves with you. I don't know. Oh, man. So clean it up. Clean that shit up. So I don't know, man. Listen, Louisville's undefeated, and I'm going to tell any fan base of an undefeated team to have high hopes and dreams. I just honestly am a bit surprised with the extent they're running with this. And I better get to use all those tweets I bookmarked, okay? I better get to bring them back up because I had a bunch from Ohio State week and I never got to use any.
Hey, man, I hear it all the time. I made a post a couple of days ago about Audric Estime, and I had Ohio State fans, I had Alabama fans in my mentions, and I'm like, This isn't even about you. This is about a Notre Dame player. What do you guys just come to these tweets to talk trash?
Yeah.
Anyway, one more thing I wanted to bring up, because I think this is kind of an interesting take, because I think while Notre Dame has this, this one big test before USC comes to town, I don't see a lot of people talking about it with USC Arizona. USC, they've been kind of sleepwalking through their first half of their schedule because they've been able to.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this.
Able to.
I have not heard one person mention that game. You're the first one. I haven't even mentioned it. You're the first one. Is there anything there or not? I don't know anything about Arizona. You're going to have to fill me in on that one. Is there a chance to do something? I don't know nothing about Arizona.
So Arizona, they're 3-2, but their record is very deceiving. They've lost both of their games by 7 or less. They lost last week against Washington. We know how good Washington is.
Yeah.
Well, Arizona was in that game till the final drive. They lost by 7, and Arizona didn't have their starting quarterback that game.
Dude, somebody just put in the chat, Arizona 65, USC 64. That's about right, man.
Jaden DeLora is the starting quarterback for Arizona. He was a highly touted recruit. He's really good. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Lamar Jackson. That's his play style. And he's a very offensive mind. Like, they're very offensive minded over there at Arizona. With how bad USC's defense is, and the fact that you've got in their I know they're thinking about Notre Dame next week. That game, and I'll tell you right now, John, I will be pissed if Notre Dame handles business.
Yeah.
And I watch that USC game and USC messes around and loses to Arizona. I will absolutely lose my mind. Because you know what people will say if Notre Dame then turns around and beats USC? Well, it's a 2-loss USC team. They weren't very good. They don't play defense. I will absolutely lose it.
It ruins it ruins the whole build up, and it ruins, if you beat them, the credibility you would get. And then if you lose to them, it makes you look worse. You're right. That is a problem.
Like, I told all my USC buddies, I'm like, you guys better handle business. Like, you seriously better handle business. I know we got ours, but just please.
Yeah.
Please.
No, you're right about that. I think you want them. I think you want them undefeated. You are right. I'm glad you brought that up. That would ruin the vibe. Hey, man, I appreciate you very much for giving me a call here, and keep on grinding on the show. All right.
Yeah, for sure, man. I definitely will. I'll be at the USC game next weekend.
Awesome.
Just hoping that it's a battle of top 10 teams and come out with the win.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you this, and then I'll hop off. But if we beat, because I've had Notre Dame fans ask me this, do you think we storm the field if we beat USC, if they're undefeated at home?
Oh man, you know what? I don't know if I would, just because of all the dynamics, and you already have a loss and all that. I don't know if I would, but I think they would. Does that make sense? I don't think I would feel compelled in that moment, but I could see everybody else doing it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because I've seen people say, well, it's a rivalry game, and you already got one loss. Does it really mean as much as it would have been to beat Ohio State?
Yeah. And
it still means a lot, but
dude, the other thing is, when I was growing up, you used to only storm the field if you beat like the number 1 team or something. And now everybody does it just to do it, to run out there because it's fun and your team won. I feel like the bar when it's acceptable has expanded a lot since I've gotten older. Let's put it that way. But hey,
Colorado stormed the
I
field
want to have that
Colorado
problem.
State, so.
I want to have that problem. Okay, I want to see that, and then I won't care what happens, whether we do or not. Just get me to that ending, okay? Hey, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good one.
Go Irish and beat Louisville.
There you go, man. Have a good one. Somebody said a moderator blocked something they said. Dude, I don't know who's doing that. I have not deleted or blocked anything in the chat tonight, and I don't see Pat in here moderating. So I don't know what happened, but I'm telling you, I have not deleted anything tonight. I haven't seen anything to delete. Maybe I missed something I should have. But I haven't deleted anything. And unless Pat's hiding somewhere moderating, but he usually wants to be seen. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I assure you, I have not blocked anything today. $5 holler, let's go Irish. Come out firing on all cylinders. Freeman's going to have the Irish ready. I tend to believe that too. Re-energize after a rough couple weeks. That's what I want. $2 holler, BH. Go Irish. Hope they come out on fire. I want to see an Irish team settle in fast, play really good football. Look at this. Unbelievable. Well read. John, my wife and I love your show. I think your show made my wife love football. I'm telling you what. That's a love story, ain't it? That's a love story, ain't it? That's a beautiful thing, man. I'm just picturing this guy's poor wife having to listen to me yell and turn colors and throw things and do all my mannerisms. I feel bad for her, but if she likes it, that's good for you both. Oh, that's funny. Couple of the other donators, and then we will open it up to the rest of the calls. 385, thank you for your donation. What's going on?
Hello?
Hello.
John.
Yeah.
Hey, this 385 again from earlier, man.
Yeah, what's
I'm
going on?
surprised you had a Friday night calling show. No, I showed my brother. I was like, look, man, this is awesome. And I go, he lets us call in, man. But John, I trip out on how you guys stress out on these games, bro. Like,
dude,
really
I stress out about everything. Are you serious? You can't judge me for that shit. I stress out about every single thing that goes on in Notre Dame land. This isn't new.
No.
It has nothing to do with Duke or Louisville. It has everything to do with Notre Dame.
Amen. Amen. I believe you. Like, you know what? Let me tell you. My little girl, man, she's 5'0", right? Okay, no Rudy story, but she's 5'0". Went to a school that patterned themselves after Notre Dame, man. Won the region title, runner-up, all-star, blah, 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 everything, right? She comes home one day for winter break. We're watching the girls, man. We're watching the girls play against that monster UConn team, right?
Yeah.
They beat UConn with why they beat them. Me and her were in tears, right? We're in tears because my little girl has a program signed from the 2011 team that lost to Texas A&M in the national title, right? That was the first ever Notre Dame team that I got to see live right here at the Huntsman Center. And we got a big thing. She's like, "You really taking the blanket?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, baby, I'm taking the blanket." You know what I mean? And so I feel you on that. But I'm just like, man, like I really do. I do stress out on everything Notre Dame. I do too. You know, I feel you. But you know,
okay,
John,
but wait, man. Listen, I can't go the other way on this and do this damn show 5 times a week and sit up here and go, "Oh, Louisville's undefeated, but we don't have to respect them. We're going to kick the shit out of them." Like, don't you think that's a little irresponsible? I try and toe the line there between confidence in our guys and respect for the opposition. So where's the reality fall? Tell me where I'm wrong.
And I agree. I agree with you. There's a reality, right? Like when I've gone to coaches clinics, bro, like I've heard coaches say, if you got 31 athletes and this program has 30 athletes, you're just going to be a better program because you got one more better athlete. I've heard the coaches, and there is a reality. And the reality is we're going into a hostile Louisville. They're pumped up. They're playing Notre Dame. It's blackout. Yep. Notre Dame's coming off eight grueling quarters.
Yeah, and you know what else? Hey, you know what else? It's a blackout, and all these Kentucky people in there are going to be blacked out. That's the other thing that pisses me off. Yeah. They're going to be drinking for 4. This is Kentucky. They're going to have moonshine by 5 a.m., It's going to be wild in there, and it's up to us to shut that shit down with our good play. I ain't in the mood after the last 2 weeks to be dicking around with Louisville. Play good and shut them up early.
No, and I hear you. Like I tell you, amen. I hear what you're saying, man. Like I said, I didn't think there was another more fanatic, ecstatic Irish fan in the world until I seen your show.
I got problems. Look, it's not something I'm proud of. I got problems, all right? And I just figured I may as well make a couple bucks off of it if I'm going to have a problem for my whole life. I know this isn't normal, but it's who I am.
Let me tell you what, man. I went to South Bend 3 times this last winter to watch the girls play. Southern Utah was there. My parents retired, and they went to. Still, this is the first time Southern Utah girls had made the basketball tournament. And I'm sitting in a sea of red in the Southern Utah section. You came, I was like, yeah, no, why wouldn't I? My parents live in Southern Utah, but I had my Irish green, right? They're like, that's awesome. I'm like, yeah. to watch the girls tournament, because I feel you on the passion for the Irish, man. Like, I feel you like all the way around. You know what I mean? And I just think, man, that I think we're worrying a little bit too much, and it's okay. But I really do think, bro, like we talked earlier.
All right, now let me tell you this though. Let me tell you this though. When I did my pick in the USA Today, I write my articles for USA Today, and you have to put in your final score prediction in the article that goes in the website. And I got Notre Dame winning. I got Notre Dame winning by more than 10. I think I had like 31-20, 34-20, something like that. Like, so it's not like I think Notre Dame's going to lose, but I'm not going into this. But I want to respect the environment because I know it's going to be wild. And if Notre Dame's not ready, they're going to have a long damn night. And I'm not here for it. But I do think Notre Dame's going to get it done. It's just these environments in this four-game window are brutal. And I just want to make sure we all acknowledge those dynamics and the moving parts of that.
No, but isn't that what you want, though, John? I remember when I was boxing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right.
I remember. But that's what I tell you. Like, look, that's why I tell you earlier when I told you earlier in the week. I hate how Notre Dame fans say, "Oh, well, we have the guys that Bama had, so we have the guys that what's the other team that Georgia had? If we had the guys that the SEC had, blah blah blah." Well, you play two fucking junior high teams, and let me tell you this: if you're a tough guy, why is it okay? When USC would play any SEC team, why do they play in Texas? You're still in your own backyard. When Utah played Nick Saban, they were still in their own backyard. When we played South Carolina last year, they were still in their own backyard. If you're a tough guy, look, John, and I told you earlier, I grew up rough. And when we were in prison, we said, hey, if you're a tough guy, take on anybody. Why are you going to take on that dude that's your size? I mean, if you think you're tough, take on the biggest motherfucker in the yard. Go here, go there. The Irish go here, the Irish go there. And the reason I tell you that is like, okay, that's what you want though, right? I mean, that's what you want. I mean, could you really legitimize Alabama and Georgia's national titles with two junior high teams on that schedule? I mean, really?
Yep. No,
really?
Hey man, this is the life of Notre Dame.
Really?
This is what we choose. This is what we choose. Like, I love being that we move the needle, baby. We are the needle. Otherwise, everybody wouldn't want us in. We are the needle. Every damn week, we're in prime time with everybody looking. And it's on us whether you get made fun of or get to tell everybody else to shove it and shut the hell up. It's on us. And I need Notre Dame to play good tomorrow, bro. I've lost so many years off my life the last 2 weeks of dumb Notre Dame football. I'm going to lose my mind. My hair's falling out. I take a shower and the drain's clogged, bro. Like, I can't. This one can't come down to the last play. How about that? Give me a damn breather. I can't handle it.
Let me ask you something, John. Yeah. And if it does and we go on to the playoffs, then what? Then what are you guys going to say weeks later?
If we do,
what are you guys going to say weeks later? Look, this is all I'm telling you. When we were boxing and we had the Nationals here in Utah, they said, hey, get all the rounds you can sparring with these. The New Jersey Silver Gloves champion, the Golden Gloves champion, the New Mexico region champion. They said, get all these rounds in because you're not going to get sparring like this again, ever again. And they said, and this will make you a better fighter.
Yeah.
These boys are going to go in there. Yeah, it's going to be a brawl. It is. I mean, Louisville has a good coach. They have a good fan base. Remember, not too long ago, Lamar Jackson came from there. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to come in there. They're going to be hyped. It's going to be their Super Bowl. But Freeman and his coaches are going to make the necessary adjustments. They're going to see what they've had to do. This is the third week in a row or second week in a row where they're in a hostile environment. They're going to make their adjustments. We have just one more better athlete than they do. So we're gonna come out. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a walk in the park, but when we do come out, and everybody keeps hurtling over this team and looking onto USC. When USC gets here, we'll deal with USC.
Yeah. That's the right way to look at it. That's the right way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And if you see the latest post that what's his name? Goku, what's his name? Number 31. What's his last name? How do you pronounce his last name? You know what I'm talking about. There's a social thing that they put out on the thing. He says, you know what? I came here because it embodies everything that I wanted: faith, family, and the brotherhood. the brotherhood. I mean, there is nothing more amazing than that video when Freeman got announced as the head coach. And you know what? These boys, call it emotion, call it skill, call it talent. These boys, this is why they come to Notre Dame, and this is what, and this is why you coach at Notre Dame. So, like I said, no, Rudy, unrealistic stuff. Realistically, we're going into a serious environment, but realistically too, we just got one more better athlete, and realistically, that's why these boys chose to come to Notre Dame for moments like this.
Man, you're right. And months like this, where you're in prime time on America's TV with everybody watching at night 4 weeks in a row. And I need Notre Dame to do well tomorrow. Hey, 2 calls today from you, man. 1 in the morning and 1 tonight. You and I are becoming friends. I love it, buddy. Thank you.
I love you guys, man. I love the fan base, even though we disagree at times. People may say, oh, these guys. Hey, but you know what, man? Like, I'm from Salt Lake, man, and it costs an arm and a leg to fly out there, man. Yeah. And you know what? When I'm there, there's no better place in the world, man.
Hey,
love you, John.
Hey, listen, me and you got to hang out. You got to let me know the next time you're there. I think you and I would tear up South Bend. We might get in some trouble there, me and you out there. I think you and I are going to get in trouble. You let me know when you're coming to town, and I'm going to make sure I'll be there, all right? I want to do this.
I'm trying to get there for the Wake Forest. Hey, before I leave, here we go. I'm going to tell you this. Last week, right, we have a family reunion at my house. Bunch of Mexicans. They're rooting for Canelo Alvarez, right? They're all watching the Canelo fight. My family members are USC and Utah fans. But because of my love for the Irish, they were all pumped up. Let's go Irish. Let's go Irish. That's what I mean. If we just stay focused, positive, man, we know we're going to get through this, man. Hey, that national title is within arm's reach, man. I love you, John. I'll probably see you during the Wake Forest weekend, man. Go Irish tomorrow, buddy.
Have a good one, man. I love you, man. I don't know how that dude found me, but he calls every time. He called twice today. Once on the morning show, once at the night pregame party. I love it. What the hell are you guys talking about, bro? What kind of pie are you guys talking about? I'm afraid to ask. What is going on in the chat here? I don't think I understand, bro. I really don't think I understand what that was about. 949, you're on the line right on time. What's going down tonight?
Hey, John, thanks for taking my call, man. How we doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm in a good mood. I am humbled and flattered that Notre Dame is on primetime windows for 4 weeks in a row, playing 4 perfectly capable teams, not all the same skill level, but all very respectable teams. It is a compliment, but it is a tough month for Notre Dame to navigate and keep all their goals intact. And I'm just kind of thinking through all the dynamics here and going into this hostile environment tomorrow night. And I'm just trying to make sense of it all. Where are you coming at the night before?
Well, I agree. I mean, it's always nice, going through the week off a win instead of a last-second loss.
Oh, doesn't it help? Doesn't it help when you're looking at all the things you want Notre Dame to clean up and get better at? How much better of a mood are we in after a win, no matter what it looks like? It's night and day, the difference, man. It makes it all the difference. All the difference in the world.
It's better to look at all the bad, especially watching film as a player, to watch all the bad stuff after a win than a loss. But I'm a little, I don't know. I don't want to come off like, as an asshole here, but I'm like a little pissed off at like Notre Dame fans about Al Golden and, all this stuff. I mean, there's been.
No. Wait. I like this. No. Don't hold back.
Well,
this ain't the place for that.
No.
This ain't the place for that.
I'm not holding back. I'm just.
But I want you to feel free. I want you to feel free to talk whatever you need to get out, my brother. So you tell me what you're not happy with. I want to hear it. This genuinely intrigues me.
Well, I feel like we're a little too harsh on Golden. Right. It's like we're almost expecting perfection. I mean, we could easily have the Brian Van Gorder days again, right?
Yeah.
Having a defense giving up 35 points a game. We have a solid defense this season.
Yeah.
Granted, there is a couple of teams that are mediocre or below mediocre that we played, but even against, Ohio State, held them to basically 14 or 10 points, minus the last.
Can I give you?
Whatever.
Can I give you my starting point with the defense, and then you can feed off of it and see if you agree with my take?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's where I'm at with the defense. I think that there are things you would like to see a little better. Okay. The tackling, you would like to see be more crisp and more sound with the tackling. I think you would want your blitzes to get home at a higher rate. I agree with that. That's a frustration. It would be really nice if you had 1 or 2 monster defensive ends crashing at all times. We just don't have that this year, like monsters on each end that have to be chipped and double accounted for. We don't have that. Okay. Acknowledging those frustrations, at the end of the day, when you look at this year, the defense has done a good enough job to put Notre Dame in a position to win every game. And so there is a give and take there because I have all those frustrations. But at the end of the day, the last 2 years, who's held Ohio State to their lowest total? It's been Notre Dame football. Okay. So they're playing winning football. It's just that we all want more. And we all want a little more. And we want the efficiency to be high, But at the end of the day, though, they're playing winning football. The amount of points they're giving up should be enough for Notre Dame to win their games. And that is the ultimate thing. So do you agree with kind of where I'm at on these?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. But if we don't have that solid defense last week, we lose that game.
Oh yeah.
They don't do the pooch. They don't do the pooch kick and all that.
Yeah.
That game's over.
Yeah.
They're in the end zone. They're up by 8, whatever it's probably going to be.
No, you're right. But do you agree with my critiques though? Like, or do you see the same things I do about?
And I didn't think of.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about not forgot, but just I wasn't thinking about the missed tackles until the next Saturday comes up and they've got 8 of them in the first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that's something you'd like to see improve, and it should have been improved. That's what those first 3 games were for, right? You would have hoped to have seen those cleaned up by Ohio State, and we wouldn't have to worry. But you know what? The secondary it's been so great because, and you know how locked down the corners have been? The corners have been so locked down that the safeties are able to get interceptions. Because the quarterbacks can't go to the outside.
Yeah. And
dude, Benjamin's all over him.
Good.
And he tries to go up the middle.
How good does it feel to have a Notre Dame secondary where you're not totally terrified every time there's a pass thrown? Like for 20 years of my life, it was a nightmare every time there was an important ball back there. You knew our guy would be nowhere near it. It is really, really good. And you know what else too, man? I feel like I think there's more talent coming on that defense too. I could see the vision there, and I wouldn't.
Dude, recruiting's nice right now.
But here's the other thing. Let me bring this up to you. Would it surprise you if at some point in the near future, maybe after this year, if Al Golden did retire or take an analyst job, and then Mickens slides over into that role since he's Freeman's road dog, best friend from Cincinnati? They go back. They're on the same page. I genuinely expect that to be the transition. I just don't know what year it's going to be. But I think Mickens is going to slide over there, and he's a recruiting juggernaut. He's developing guys. He's Marcus's brother. They're tight. I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't know when that would be.
I go back and forth with that because he position coach, fantastic. Recruiting, awesome. There's nothing but great things to be said about Mickens, dude. The guy's he's on cloud 9 right now. Yeah.
Great, and you know what else? Let me tell you this too.
I don't know. Wait. If he's going to be that type of coach that's going to be able to transition to the whole defensive scheme. I don't know if he.
That's a fair concern.
I don't know him that well as a coach.
That's a fair concern.
I don't know.
But let me give you another concern. Hold on though. Let me throw this wrinkle in here. Here's the other thing you have to consider. His recruiting, development, and scouting in that area is better than I've seen in 20, 25 years as a Notre Dame fan who's been terrorized by bad secondary play. Name Michigan, Bush push. There are a million examples of us losing games because of Notre Dame's poor secondary. Let me bring this up to you. the other reason I like the idea of him transitioning into a DC role is if you don't do that, somebody else is going to pay him to go do that when they see what he's done with Notre Dame secondary. And then do I want to lose that guy to somebody else willing to let him do that? I don't think I do. That's another thing you got to think about.
Well, those priests over there are going to have to, melt some gold bars or something and just give it to the man and give him all the cash in the world, dude. I mean, you got to do whatever. I mean, you're Notre Dame, dude. I know what happened with Ledwig over last off season was BS, but I mean, you got to get this man his money. You got to keep him there.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do as that universe. And with the new AD coming in, he might, he might try to make an example of himself or for himself and, keep him around. But I would be upset if Al Golden left, especially after the season. And I've heard, I listen to Blue and Gold too. And I know Singer tried to get us going with, him leaving this after this year, but I hope not, man. I do agree, with the blitzes, they take forever sometimes to get home. But that could also be a player thing too. But obviously that comes from the coaching. Maybe they're not telling them, hey, you guys, backers, you need to start sneaking up more, or sooner on the cadence and all that. Yeah. And
But if it's
the
Mickens,
defense has been great.
I'm telling you though, man, if it's Mickens, I'll feel pretty good. I think that guy's got a vibe, and I like what he's doing. I like his relationship with Marcus, and I'm afraid he's going to rise to a point where if he don't get that job at Notre Dame, he's going to take it somewhere else. And then where does that leave Notre Dame's secondary? And so, those are my thoughts. But overall, I got to tell you though, I agree with your thesis that defense is playing winning football, even though I want to see some improvements and things cleaned up. They're playing winning football. Tomorrow night, I'm confident I'm going to get a decent defensive performance. I need Notre Dame to perform offensively in a way they haven't the last 2 weeks. I need it. I don't want it. Yep. I need it. I don't want it.
Yep. Absolutely.
I freaking need it. Not only to get through tomorrow night, but then when the Hollywood pretty boys come to town the next week, trend up.
Bunch of pre-Bandatum bums. I feel like the secondary is going to get a couple picks tomorrow night.
Oh, I love it.
I truly feel like
crank up that pressure on Plummer. He'll give you the ball. He's done it 6 times this year. Crank up the pressure on him and let him throw you the ball. Damn it.
You know what? And I think Golden's going to do that. I feel like he's going to. It worked last week, and I think he's just going to keep Plummer kid tomorrow night. And, we'll see how it works. I feel like, I don't know. I have a lot of this, and like what you've been saying, this is the most confident I have been in our secondary in decades.
Yeah,
because we've always had 50% of the field that's been nice, but we've always had like.
That's the issue, man. But dude, that's the issue. Yeah. I always hear, what about Julian Love? What about Hamilton? And
exactly.
Then my answer is,
Hamilton
I need 2 or 3 of each of them out there. I don't need 1 of each. I need 2 or 3 of each. So I don't know, man. I think Notre Dame's going to enter this game in a better mind frame, but they need to do a good job to tone down the drunk moonshine crowd tomorrow night. Okay. That's what I need them to do.
Just get this game over with in the first half, and then let's go beat the shit out of SC, man. And the fingernail and Payton bum over there, dude, let's put him in his place this year.
Oh, I know. And
we got all of our secondary ready for this game. So
and
we'll shut them up.
Let's make sure we get through this one tomorrow, and then I'm going to be on a rampage for USC week. You think it's personal with Ohio State? Wait till we get into USC week. So I'm excited about it, but I'm going to be wound tight. So if you want to see John in a mood, stay tuned for the build up to that one, because I'm not in the mood for it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, SC's personal for me too, man. I've lived in SoCal for most of my life, so every time we play SC, it's always a fun one with the buddies around here. So.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I really appreciate the call tonight. I want you to have a good weekend and enjoy the football tomorrow. And Notre Dame needs a big win, and then we ramp up for another big time matchup. So Thanks for the call, my
That's
friend.
right.
And
Yep.
thanks for the clear phone
Yeah,
line.
thanks for taking it, John.
The clear phone line makes a big difference. I love you for that. Thank you.
Yep. Appreciate it, John. Go Irish.
Have a good one. Go Irish. All right, let's see where Pat's at. He looks like he just.
I'm
What
at
are
a
you
casino.
doing?
I'm
What?
at a casino.
You winning any
Gambling.
money?
No, man, I'm getting my dick kicked in. This is awful.
Yeah.
I've lost the mortgage. Wife's gonna be pissed. It
Well,
doesn't
it
help that
happens.
I've been drinking all day. I'm on muscle relaxers and yeah, it's not been a good day. It's been
Yeah,
a good
you
day,
know
but
what?
not a good day.
If you've been drinking all day and you're on muscle relaxers, I think you should take out more money and have fun with it, Pat. That seems like a really good idea. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Don't worry, I'll wake up tomorrow and make more.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's
How's the
going
show?
good. Pat, I want to know if you think people are overblowing Louisville. Their side is excited, man. You're not on Twitter. They are out of their mind saying they're going to kill Notre Dame. They're ready for
That's
this.
not
They're
new.
pumped up.
That's nothing new. Everyone's excited when they play Notre Dame. Central Michigan thought they were going to beat Notre Dame. Everyone's excited. They're playing Notre Dame. Why would Notre Dame primetime at home? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. It doesn't bother me. What concerns me is Notre Dame going to be able to get up again?
Yep.
For this, or they're gonna fall flat at some point. I just hope it's not in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Pat, I hold on to the hope that they had to get through that onslaught of emotion through Ohio State's hangover and then into Duke. And now I'm hoping that they're rejuvenated and they can go in there with their batteries recharged this week and not be dragging ass. That's what I want.
Yeah. No. That's the fact that they don't have a bye week in the schedule just blows my mind. To play all these games and all these teams and not have a chance to rest your football team. That's insane. But you know what? I was sitting here. I just lost an incredible amount of money, and I looked at my phone and I checked my email. I go, oh, I got a link. I better call in and see how the show's going. So I just figured I'd check in, see how everything's going, and let Irish Nation know. Always Irish Nation know that we're gonna win tomorrow because we need to.
You see what Mark with glasses put?
That's a courthouse.
I like that. Well, let me know if you need bail money, okay?
Definitely at a casino.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, I don't want to keep you. Go ahead and get back to it.
I just want to check in. Have a good show,
right,
buddy.
Hey, just so you know, people were asking where you were too. They were like,
I
"Where the hell's Pat?"
I figured. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I got here right at 8:00, and I was going to call you as soon as I got here, and then I, forgot because I'm drunk. But we're good now. Later, buddy.
Somebody said Pat doesn't look too good. Well, yeah, he woke up today. What? It ain't gonna change. What do you mean? That's just the way it is. It's not gonna change.
This thing is a problem. That's a problem.
No, it's the camera angle. It's the camera angle. Yeah.
better?
There you go. You just lost 48 pounds. All right, go have fun.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for checking in, Pat. Love you. See you.
Always. Bye.
Later. Oh, man. I'm glad. I knew he was up to something, man. When I don't hear from him and we have a show, I know he's drinking somewhere. He's visiting a certain kind of club in the sticks. Like, Pat always gets into something, man. He's probably out at the Silver Slipper or something later on tonight. Don't Google that if you don't know what it is, by the way. Oh, man. 574, give me some more. What's going on?
Hey, Johnny, what's up, man? Old Pat's out there. What's he hitting up the casino, putting some money on the black or red on the roulette or what?
Oh, dude, who knows what Pat gets into? I have no idea what he gets into, but he always has a good night. I know that for sure. He's always on the move. That's for damn sure. I'm just sitting here thinking about the opportunity afforded to Notre Dame tomorrow to make a statement with everybody watching in prime time and a chance to beat a ranked team and then to fly into the matchup with your hated rival, Flying Eye. That's my roadmap. Tell me where I'm wrong.
No, I don't think you're wrong. And honestly, my feeling going into tomorrow night's game is a lot different from last week. I mean, I knew Duke was very physical, and I knew it was going to be a tough match for us, especially coming off that rough game against Ohio State. And I don't know why. I just got a lot different feeling this week. And I do. I feel like we can go in there tomorrow. I mean, we've seen this quarterback play us twice over the past couple of years. And I got a good feeling. I mean, I really do. I think that we can go in there tomorrow, hopefully open up the offense and see some things that, we haven't seen. I mean, they need to open up the offense. If we don't open up this offense, we play in this little box to get, the next week's opponent in USC. No. We're going to be in trouble, Johnny.
Yeah, but you're 100% correct. And the dynamic I've been struggling with in my head and in my writings, even this week in the paper, is I am afforded the opportunity to think ahead to USC. The players and coaches for Notre Dame cannot. It is very important for that offense to get back on track tomorrow, not only just to win tomorrow, but to ramp it up in a good way heading into the next one too, because you're going to need points to beat USC. We all like our defense. They're still going to get some. So Notre Dame needs to get that offense trending back up. Give me 42 tomorrow night or something.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way we're going to go into USC and score 14 or 17 or whatever points and come out on top. I mean, we have a very good defense, John.
Now, the other thing, though, is we have to acknowledge the difference between USC's defense and the two we last played. I genuinely believe those are two of the top 10 defenses in America. I want to know where the stats are. But Ohio State and Duke are really good defenses that I respect the hell out of it, and they're coached magnificently. That's the other thing. Really great coaching on both squads there. USC isn't that, and so there is more leeway. But even if you defend USC good, they're going to score some points. You need to ramp up.
Yes, absolutely. No playing in this little box. No running estimate up the middle every time or throwing these little tiny, easy, predictable throws. I mean, they really do. They have to open up this offensive playbook. I'm tired of it. And another thing, I'm tired of the stupid penalties.
Yep.
I mean, 12 penalties, 70 yards the last game. And, okay, you're going to have that, especially when you got young players or, say, players filling in. But a lot of the penalties, John, I mean, you can blame the refs, but I don't care. A lot of the penalties are on the veterans. I mean, Bertrand, Botello, Baptiste had one. That's just stupid. I mean, you can't win these big games when you have stupid penalties shooting yourselves in the foot. And another thing, the field goals. Our field goal kicker,
he has got to get more
consistent. I'm tired of it.
4 down territory. Like, I can't trust you, bro. You're less than 50%. I cannot trust you. And we've needed you in both of the last games to make a couple, and you didn't. I don't think I could trust him. And I'm thinking about having a 4th down play now when we're across the 50 or in that range, that in the 40, whatever that cutoff range is of punt, go for it, field goal. He's got a huge leg. I'm sure it'll get better eventually, but he's so inconsistent now. I can't trust him in a big moment. And the ones he's missing aren't even that close, to be honest.
Right. And, you've talked about it before, and I love Freeman. I love, Gerard Parker. They're, hopefully they're going to be great coaches going forward. They're young, they're inexperienced, they're going to make mistakes. And Freeman's probably learned from this, but the fact that he was wanting Estime to go down in the middle of the hash marks on a 30, I mean, come on, man,
Yeah.
Get real. I mean, really, with the kicker we have, that's really what
Dude.
the best approach was there.
Think of what Estime saved by breaking that run. Can you imagine? Look at the heat the staff took after Iowa State. Could you imagine if they made the decision to just sit down there and run the kicker out there and he duck hooked one like he did earlier? Oh, buddy. So they owe Audric Estime a big thank you for avoiding that scenario.
And thankfully, Estime is a smart enough guy to know, hey, you got the green light right in front of you. You got Pater. Just get in the damn end zone. You're down. Take the lead. And, you got a great – Notre Dame has a good defense. I trust this defense. I mean, they make the mistakes here and there. But overall, I do trust our defense.
Yeah. I have my nitpick complaints there. And are they elite? No, you need monster edge rush. You need monster edge rushers to be elite there. I think that's what you need. And those are the kind of things that could have changed
They
the
need to
outcome
recruit
of
those.
Ohio State. Yeah. And so that's a struggle. You need a couple edge guys that are just game wreckers that ruin everything. And Notre Dame doesn't have that to the level I need it yet. But they are really, really solid operation. And their output is keeping Notre Dame in every game. And it is incumbent on the offense to pick it back up now. Like, I get it. The last 2 weeks were against good opponents. I need you to pick up the production, the efficiency, and the creativity needs to get ramped back up.
Oh, absolutely. And no doubt about it, next week, assuming hopefully we should win tomorrow night. I think we will. Like I said, I feel a lot better. I think we got the edge. We know the quarterback. We got a lot of film on him. Brom's a great coach, but I really do feel like if with everybody back this week, if we can execute and open up the playbook like we should, get the ball to the outside, get Love, Tyree out in space like we need to, get the ball down the field, we should win tomorrow night. And then USC, like I said, we got to put points up on the board. I mean, I'm tired of this crap coming in here, scoring 14, 17, 20 points and thinking we're going to come out on top. That might be fine for the first 5 or 6 games of the schedule, but not against USC. You got to put points on the board for that one.
Yep, you're right. And you're absolutely right. And the defense needs to do a much better job against him than they did last year too. But I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, worry about Louisville. But I'm excited, man. Notre Dame has a good 2-week window here to really either make or break their year, basically. And it all starts tomorrow night. And I'm excited to see how it goes. Anything else, my friend?
Just a couple more things. They got to get better on the third down conversion. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, they were like, I think 3 for 15 or something the last game.
Yeah.
I mean, that they have got to get better on the third, and they can't get in the third and long. Make it third and short where you leave the playbook wide open. You got many different options. The defense, the defense has been they've been easily able to predict what we're going to do on third down. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, because then they can stack the box, or they can send, they can predict what we're going to do, and they can send the coverage and what they think's best to cover that. But we got to do some different things there.
You know what, man? I don't want it to start feeling like it used to, where it was like all you had on third down is the tight end better make a catch over 3 guys over the middle, or we're punting. It can't be that again, man. Like, yeah, I want to see the offense open back up, and I think tomorrow night gives you an opportunity for it.
I sure hope so. I mean, I really do. I think we got a great team. This is the best I felt about our Notre Dame team in a long time. I've told you that, and I'm really happy. I think hopefully we can learn, and it's a process. We're all going to make our mistakes and learn from it. And hopefully we can come out tomorrow night on top, and then, go into USC. I see the weather's supposed to be cold and rainy, which might benefit us, because I don't think they're going to be able to air it out like they like to do in that kind of weather.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can, just keep this ball rolling and keep it, going this way into the end of the season.
I like it, man. I like that a lot. Hey, thanks a lot, man. Have a good night. Thank you for the call. Give me a call on the post-game show after the game if you want tomorrow.
Okay, John. Thank you.
Have a good one, buddy. What a nice guy. All right. I got a handful of more calls, but I have some stuff to do. I want to get through these, but I kind of got to go quick because I still got some work to do tonight for what's going on tomorrow. 703, you're talking to me. I 1, 2, 3, 4 more, but we got to move kind of quicker. 703, you're talking to me. What's going on?
John, my hope is, can we get 30 points tomorrow night?
Oh, man, I want more than 30, dog. I want to get up near like 35, 42. I don't need even just 30. I want a little more than that to feel good going into USC, don't you?
Yeah, that's fair. But I just want to see some separation from, I want us to get, because we're getting Greathouse back, we're getting Thomas back. I want some more separation this week. I want some separation. I want us to have some big plays.
Yeah, no, we need to get some bigger chunks. Flip that field. Get some bigger plays. Break some tackles in the open field. How about this, man? Are they even going to maybe they actually try and throw deep ball tomorrow? Because I don't feel like I've seen enough of that in the last 2 games. And I know they had elite defenses on the back end. But I want to see things open up a little bit, because I think you're going to need a lot of points the next week, and just get it started now. I want those guys feeling good about that offense, trending back up.
And I also want to see our D-line get home again. We were finally starting to get home against Duke, and I want us to keep getting home.
Yeah, and pressure. That's the other thing. Plummer has 6 interceptions. Notre Dame played him. It's very interesting how we played him the last 2 years, but he was on 2 different teams, and both of those games were kind of goofy and weird. But if you pressure him, he'll throw the ball to you. He has 6 interceptions on the year. If you could pressure him and speed up his clock, he will throw you the ball, and I need Notre Dame to do it. He's not great under pressure. Crank that bitch up. Let's go.
And I just want to see Schrader hit a couple kicks. I just get his confidence going.
You know what would be nice, man? You know what would be nice? Having him make a couple kicks where the game's not on the line, so I don't have an aneurysm, and then he can relax and see some go through. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Let's just get this win. I want this to be like the Boston College game from last year. Let's just get this win.
Oh, man.
Move on to US.
Man, yeah, that would be outrageous. And then speaking of that Boston College, and it makes me think of the weather, the advanced forecast for South Bend, Indiana for the USC game, it's going to be a little chilly. And I like that. The colder, the better for them Southern Cowboys. They don't like that cold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good, but I was feeling pretty good about my Commanders, but your Bears beat us bad. But
oh man, yeah, that was a little. The Bears put it all together and took it out on them last night. That's the best the Bears have looked in a lot, longer than I can ever remember. I mean, that was wild. So I don't know, man. This is a big opportunity for Notre Dame on the big stage again, 3rd week in a row, and it's soon to be 4th. I need them to take care of business. I genuinely do, and I think they will. I think they come out in a better mental space this week, ready to go. Anything else, my friend?
No, let's just get this win and move on to SC. Thanks,
beautiful.
John.
Hey, man, give me a call after the game, whether it's good or bad, you're happy or sad. Give me a call, okay, buddy?
Yeah, well, I have to do a post-game show for Mr. Rogers, but I'll definitely call in when I can.
Oh, okay. Yep. Call in whenever you can. Have a good one.
You too.
See ya. 574. Give me some more. What's going on? If I hit the button, I hit the wrong button. 818. What's going on? Sorry, 574. What's going on, 818? What's going on, Rodney?
You threw me off, man. What are you doing, man? Kind of crap my style.
Dude, I hit
Nobody's gonna slow me down.
I hit the wrong button.
John.
Yeah.
If Notre Dame needs inspiration, look no further than the monsters of the Midway, baby, and what they did last night, man. Justin Fields, is that the way you play quarterback, or is that the way you play quarterback?
Yeah, man.
And DJ Moore literally having the game of his life.
It was weird, man.
I was shocked.
It was like the switch.
I watched the first half of the Green Bay game, and I was done. I was like, okay, I'll come back when they show, and it just got worse. And then I didn't see last week's game, but I heard about it. About the first half was great, and then it was a collapse. It was starting to look that way in the second half. Then they came back, man. So I'm just throwing a little bit up towards the Bears, and just to give them a little credit because it is a bright side in hell when you can say that, because it's not usually like that, man, for us Chicago Bears fans.
The city needed it. The whole city needed it. And they're not great. They're not winning the Super Bowl. I get it. But they all needed that just to cool things down a little bit. All right, enough about the damn Bears. What about Louisville? Tell me the reality. How good are they? How much hair should I lose tomorrow night? Give me the details.
I think where it comes in, Josh Pate, picked Louisville to win this game.
And then he doubled down on it. All the Notre Dame people piled on him, and he doubled down on it. And he was like, no, he's like, I said what I said. he doubled down on it. So somebody going to be right and somebody going to be wrong by this time tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. So I don't know, man. I mean, you would think, here's the thing, man. 2 weeks in a row now, we haven't played good on offense. It just doesn't feel that there's going to be 3 of them. What I'm worried about is that we're going to come alive offensively, and for whatever reason, we're going to come back defensively. We're not going to play as well as we have in the past. That might be very good practice for USC next week, and maybe that kind of a game next week. And like you said, as cold as it can be, the better, man. The cold as it can be, the better. But not getting ahead of ourselves, Yeah, man, I'm having a hard time feeling this game out because I was kind of more like you. I was like, I think they're going to come alive this week. But I'm like, is this the week where the defense takes just a half a step back? Not that this is going to be the normal thing, but I got a feeling we're going to. It's like either I believe it's, whereas Ohio State, I had a little bit, I just had a lot more nerves because of just what it's been and how it turned out was how I didn't want to see it. I will say the scenario where it becomes like Duke last week, or at least, a close game. Like I said, maybe more points scored this time, I think. I think we break out a little bit. Maybe we score 40 points, but they end up scoring like in the mid-30s. I think it could be one game like that, or we're going to blow them out. That's honestly how I feel about it, John. I think it's going to be either a rag and drag 'em affair.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I see
can't
there's
see us
two
having
different.
bad luck 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
I just can't, because we almost lost that in the end. Last week. Go ahead, John.
You're right about. I see those 2 scenarios. You're talking about the same way you do, and the outputs. I do, and then you're calling it bad luck. I might call it just good defense as we face. This Louisville team isn't going to present the same defensive challenges. You should have a lot more room to move the ball around. Come on.
Well, the interesting thing is, man, you're talking about, the 13-10 game against NC State. Well, you can look at this a couple different ways. I mean, if you want to be on that glass half empty side, you can look at, they allowed 10 points against NC State. We allowed 24. And that offense that scored 45 is not the same offense it's been in the last 2 weeks. So, if you look at it from that standpoint, and so that, that's fair enough. And again, okay, so I've seen this so many times in Notre Dame history, and you have too. We look at scores of games, and it's like, well, wait, we beat that team by that much, and they only beat this team by this much, and we're scoring 45. And then they bring their absolute best that week. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a different Louisville team than you will see the rest of the way.
Yeah, no, you're right.
John, we just gotta
that's the way it goes. And then, you know what? We want to have that target on us, man. I wouldn't want it any other way. I bitch about it every week. I complain every week, but it gets a little annoying sometimes. It gets a little annoying sometimes.
It's not a little annoying, John. It's worse than that because, again, this is why. Okay, this is big picture here, man. But I'm just going to say it. It's because it needs to be said. We ask for that. But then we're also our own worst enemy because we bring this on, but it's not just this. Yeah. Because those students are also have to go to class and face these really hard classes and and then face every team Super Bowl every week. Oh, and by the way, we're going to put you on prime time 4 weeks in a row. Oh, by the way, you don't get a bye week until week 9.
It's just a lot. It adds up on you, man. The mileage adds up.
And then let me wonder why they lose a game or two more than they're supposed to every year. You know what I'm saying, John? That's the frustrating part is we know they're better than I feel like this roster, and not just the roster, but the way they're developing and all that too, is better than we've had in years. I would not put it on Lou Holtz's level yet, but it's in between the Brian Kelly, high ceiling of talent and what Lou Holtz was putting out there in the night. So it's kind of a tweener. So we're there. We're at that point where we're about to break through. But again, big picture wise, this is why we make it hard on ourselves, John, because it's those people that are hung up. They're making those decisions, and that's what pisses us all off because we're the ones with the heart and the soul and the blood and the sweat and the tears, and we got to go and they're up there making the money and just making the decisions, not thinking about the big picture, and then calling themselves. And that's the thing. We love Notre Dame. We love the mission, man. We're all about that. And at the end of the day, we're all about that. But there's our flaws to that, man. And it's those people up there. Telling you, man.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
I know.
I digress.
Nope. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So, it's going to be another long day tomorrow. Good 11 a.m. window. See if Swamp Thing can beat Missouri. There's a lot to watch. and it's going to be interesting. And I need that offense to play good, you to match the environment and the intensity they have. Play your game, win, trend up, and then we get into all the USC build up. Rodney, thank you for the call, man. I want you to call me after the game tomorrow, okay? Win or lose.
Of course, man. Anytime, buddy. Great job, John. I don't compliment you as often as anymore because I don't have to. Because but in the big, listen, man. Keep it up, man. Keep chugging. Have a great one, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man. Call me again tomorrow. We'll talk. Have a good one. All right. We're going to end with 2 5-7-4s. How amazing is that? Local to South Bend, baby. We're going to end with 2 5-7-4s. Here's the first one. What's going on, 574?
How's it going?
It's going very well. I'm excited about a big day of football tomorrow. There's a lot going on, and I'm excited about it. Where are you at?
Personally, I think coming off that emotional loss and emotional win, I think last week really lit a fire under their ass. I think Freeman's going to have the boys ready. And this Louisville team, they're good. And Brom's going to have his guys ready. But I think we're going to outmatch them. And I hope Parker opens up the offense a little bit, and with Thomas and Greathouse back, and open up passing game a little bit. And because they're going to be sitting on the run early, so hopefully they'll open up the passing game a little bit. And take
you know what, man?
the
I'm right with you on all of that. And dude, the way I see it is, you came off Ohio State and all those emotions, and everybody was drained and had nothing else in the tank. You walked into a hornet's nest at Duke with everything involved there. You fought out the win. I'm thinking now Notre Dame should be trending back up, like vibe-wise, energy-wise. Take a deep breath, get some space further away from the Ohio State outcome. I think they're going to go in there focused and ready to get to business in a way they weren't maybe able to last week. Am I a fool for thinking that with these dynamics?
Not at all. I think Freeman's going to have them ready. I mean, don't get me wrong, that Louisville offense, they're explosive, but I think they just got to get some pressure on that quarterback, and he'll make some mistakes. Our defense come up with some turnovers.
Yeah, I like that. And again, the theme of the night to me is I need that offense to crank back up. I need more efficiency. I need more output. Like, we need to see more. This offense has got to get it back into a higher gear. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree. And I think the biggest step in reaching that destination is opening up the run game more. Stop running it in between the tackles. You got speed guys in Jeremiah Love and even Chris Tyree in the slot. Run some jet sweeps, run to the outside, because I think offensively, or Louisville's defense cannot keep up with our speed on the outside. And I think they need to open that up a little bit more and run outside the tackles and get in open space.
I like that. I'm a little surprised they didn't even really try to do anything outside after they were getting stuffed up in the middle all last week. So, but I want to see them open. I just want to see them open things up. Sometimes I just worry if they think they don't have the talent on the outside to be able to do everything they want to do. Like, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Sometimes when that offense looks limited, I'm like, well, maybe they want to do more, but they don't think they can yet. So I don't know where the fact is on that, of what's really available to them. If they felt like they're playing with the full deck and all wide receivers you could trust, I don't know.
Personally, I think Gerard Parker, he just got to have faith in his quarterback. I mean, he's a leader. He's a 6-year guy. He knows what he's doing. Let him open it up. I mean, get these guys going. Got to trust the players.
Yeah. And so I Notre Dame needs to be ready for this moment, though. Like, somebody earlier in the chat put, why are we all talking like you're just going to beat Louisville? Listen, I admit they have the athletes that if you sleepwalk in their place at night, you could be in for a long, rude awakening. I am open to say that. I'm open to say that. Notre Dame's got to be ready.
I definitely agree. It's going to be a hostile environment, and that is no doubt.
You got to shut them up with your play in the first quarter. You get up about 13-0 halfway through the first quarter. Something that place is going to get quieter. I got news for you. Like, I just need Notre Dame to do something early to mute some of that crowd and let them know, we know you're having a good night, but it ain't going to be that good because we're here.
Definitely. I'm hoping the Irish fans can travel well, across state lines, not too far. Hopefully they can travel well and we can make some noise as well when we get up hopefully early on.
Yeah, but man, what a big game. Just like all of these are now. Like you got to get this game in the bag, get the win, and then get ready for everything that USC week brings, which is going to be its own circus, you know?
Definitely. This season is far from over, and it's, in my opinion, it's only the beginning.
Yeah, and that's another reason you got to win. You have one loss. It's not even a guarantee if you end with one loss, you're in the playoff at all. If you get two, you're dead. So you just can't get two. Notre Dame needs to keep winning any way they have to.
I definitely agree with that. So keep winning, keep chugging along, and Freeman just got to have the guys ready.
There we go, man. Hey, I'm with you the same way you're seeing all this and what you're looking to see from the boys tomorrow night. Feel free to give me a call on the post-game show after if you would like, okay? Thank you.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Dude, you guys are talking about Little Debbie and Hostess. Like, man, I go way back with Hostess. We used to give out boxes of Hostess at Johnny's house for Halloween. Andrew Gilmore with the $5 hour. National pundits have really questioned Freeman's in-game coaching. They compare to Mario Cristobal, good recruiter, tough teams, poor decisions. Fair? Even if I agree that it's fair now, how much wiggle room do you give him on he's still in the early part of his developmental arc and he's learning it all on the biggest stage of America, and most guys don't have to go through those growing phases in the public eye the way Notre Dame does? Like, there's a give and a take there. Like, even if I agree with what Andrew's saying, that it's not totally unexpected when it's a guy learning on the fly. Now, maybe you want to say that's what year one was for, and you got to be over all that. There's nothing anybody can say that makes what happened against Ohio State okay. Like, bro, that's never okay. There's nothing that nobody can say that's not fair. And even if you want to be like, well, that's not Freeman's job to count the guys. That's below him. And it is. No head coach is a guy who counts the amount of guys. It doesn't matter. It all falls under you anyways. Just like if they would have won, he would have got more credit than he probably deserved. You just got to hope Freeman's learning. And I think he is. He just can't be stuck in his ways. He's got to learn and adapt. I don't know. One more 574, but I want to make sure I don't miss any super chats first to be nice to everybody who donated. Thank you, Andrew, very much. I just got to hope that Freeman keeps developing and he learns some hard lessons here and doesn't repeat the mistakes. I really hope that. And I just hope he's introspective and open enough that he'll do that. $2 from the local source, number one, Nutty Buddy. Those are good, man. $10 holler for Potatoes O'Brien. What a good Irish name. Thanks for the talk, John. Go Irish. 38-14. Oh, baby. I will be in a great mood up literally right now, tomorrow night, if it is 38-14. $2 holler from Justin. Stay healthy. $5 holler. Thank you, my friend. I look forward to Alt verse number 9 on Louisville. 2 legit high round draft guys. Yeah, I've heard that talked about today too. That's going to be a battle of their guy coming off the edge and Alt trying to stop him. That is a heavyweight battle. You know what else I'm going to ask you guys about? I've heard some buzz on this. Is Fisher not been totally healthy all year or what? Because some people that know what they're looking at for all this draft stuff are like, dude, Blake could come back. He ain't playing like the top-end draft pick or whatever. I don't know enough about how to gauge line play with my eyes to be able to gauge that. But multiple people have been kind of pushing that this week. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys make of that. Last caller of the night, 574. We're going to close the door. Better be good.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. I am ready for some football tomorrow. I can't wait. That 11 a.m. window's got a bunch of games. I'm ready for it, man. I'm excited. We only get a limited amount of these. I can't wait.
Yeah. So just hear me out for just a minute, okay?
Okay.
So I truly believe, now I don't know why I think this, but I have a feeling that Notre Dame is going to be ready for this game. And I really think that the boys are going to come to play and think about that. I'm just going to give you my score prediction just real fast. Okay. I'm going to go a little bit overkill.
Okay.
I think Notre Dame, I think it's 56-17.
Ooh, baby. Where the hell we getting all those points, son? I like it now. I likes it a lot.
Well, I just think that, the players are going to come to play. They're going to be ready to go. Spring's going to have them ready. That they're going to get back on track again. And I mean, I know like with the new clock rules, it's kind of tough to score that many points, but I think that they could do it. But I mean, as long as they have a good, margin of victory, 3 touchdown win would be nice,
Yeah, dude. If you go into this environment against an undefeated team that fired up to play, and you get a 3-score win, that's a good night by Notre Dame. I don't really care what it looks like to get there. If you end up with a 3-score win tomorrow night, that's beautiful. I don't think I could complain. What would there be to be mad about? I'd love it.
Oh yeah, I would love it too. Like, and another thing too, I want to bring up too. Like, we got to quit. Like these penalties, I think are really hurting us too. Like a lot. Like these penalties, I know that it's probably not gonna. We all know that these refs are probably gonna be against us anyways. I mean, like they are every week. But
you can book that. You can book that shit. You know that's coming. Come on now. We both know it.
Yeah, but the main problem that I have, and I agree with the last caller, we got to do some more of that jet sweeps, with the speedy players,
Yeah,
instead of loading up the box, up the middle.
I want to see a little more diversity in the run game in both scheme and even personnel to an extent. I want them to get back to some of the 2-back sets that they had against Ohio State. Like, I want to see some more of that. I want us to get back to more of that.
Yes. And estimate to me, I mean, he's big, he's strong, but he just really doesn't have like the speed. Like I guess he's sort of fast, but he's not as fast as like Jeremiah Love or Mike Kane,
Yeah.
So I just think that if you have him run the outside, I don't think Louisville is going to be able to stop us.
Now, let me ask this, though. I mean, you got Notre Dame winning by a big margin. Is there nothing that Louisville, you're not buying into the undefeated record? You're not buying into their road win over NC State? Like, is it the lower level opponents? Because if you got Notre Dame by that margin, you're not buying into all the undefeated hype Louisville's getting right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really buying it right now. I mean, they're a solid team, but I don't think they're as good as Duke.
Me neither. Me neither.
I think they're a lot worse than Duke.
If I give you this 4-game stretch of Ohio State, Duke, Louisville, and USC, no disrespect to Louisville, but I'm putting them 4th on the list of teams I'm worried about in that list of 4. And I don't mean it to be mean. They're undefeated, but that's just, I don't think they're as good as the other ones.
Yeah, and I'm not saying to take them lightly or anything like that. I mean, of course, you got to take every opponent seriously, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't really think, like, I think we're a lot better. Like, we got way more talent than they do. Yeah. And I think it's going to show.
Man, I would love that. And I think I've been saying it all week. This is the get right game. Last week was the hangover game from Ohio State, and you just had to get through it any way you can. Nobody was in a good mental place. And now I think they come in rejuvenated, refocused, batteries recharged, trending up, put up good numbers, play good defense, shut that crowd up, win the game, fly back home, and then we build up USC week.
Yes. Let's put a beat down on the Cardinals.
That's what I need,
and
man.
Also, and also hope for another Brian Kelly loss.
Oh, you better believe my entire 11 a.m. window. I am ready for that. Like I haven't watched a Mizzou game since Chase Daniel was there, but I'll be glued to the TV tomorrow rooting for him. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah.
Man, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting, man. So we're going to have a long day tomorrow to watch everybody else, drink a couple beers, relax, watch the game. Notre Dame wins, and then all you guys call me after the game and we talk about it. How's that for a plan?
That sounds good. And one more thing, just real quick before.
Sure.
So the USC game, I'm actually going to be going. So I don't know if you're going to be there or not, but.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it just because I didn't want to miss the second biggest game of the year for all the YouTube analytics. Because if I'm at the game, I can't do the shows, and then I miss out on all the traffic and the revenue and everything. So I think I might go back with my press credential later in the year for Wake or Pitt or something like that. But it won't be for USC. I just don't want to miss that whole window of content.
Oh. Yep, I'll definitely be going to that game. It'll be a great environment.
Yep. And it's got to build back up. And then I want it to be as cold as possible for them Southern Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, they better get used to the cold.
Yep. Yeah, well, they're going to be playing in it a lot more once they join the Big Ten. So you're right. They better get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man,
alrighty, well.
I appreciate your call, and you're a regular. I know you're gonna give me a call after the game. Let me know what you think, whether you're mad, glad, happy, or sad. All right, brother?
Alrighty, we'll do. Go Irish.
Have a good one. Go Irish. Oh, man. What's he saying? Sound like you're trying to end the call to go to work and finish up instead of keep going. Pretty selfish, John. Thanks for the show. Yeah, dude. Like, how many hours do I have to stream a day that's enough for people, bro? This is 4.5 hours we've done just today. 9 to 11 in the morning, 2.5 hours now. I love it. I'll never complain about it. Like, I absolutely love this. But there are times where my voice gets burnt out when I go 5 hours or something and there's a lot to yell at. Dude, like I feel like a singer where you have to like drink tea or something because my throat burns out some of these nights, but I can't help it. I got to yell when I got to yell. It just comes out. It ain't a choice. Whatever comes out, comes out. All right, here's the deal. Thank you to everybody. We had a good day today. We had fun this morning with me wearing that stupid bullshit red garbage. And we had fun with that. And everybody who donated, everybody who calls, all of that, man. There is no show without you guys. And the community's building. Every tailgate we have from now on is going to have more people. It's going to have the core group, and then we're going to add on to it. This is what it's all about. We're building momentum, and I love it. And I owe it all to you guys, okay? So have a good day. Have a nightcap. Drink one, smoke one. Whatever you need to do to relax tonight, go ahead and do it. Wake up tomorrow. And we'll have football at 11 a.m. and then all day. And then we'll be with you at this time tomorrow night and putting Sean in his place. Trust me, I got something coming for Sean. So anyways, thanks for being here. We had a great day, everybody. Another good week, and let's go Irish. Beat them Cardinals. Have a good one, everybody.